thought I might touch on some Caves of Code just to get ready for the next our next update. I guess I'll just start with the daily. Piss poor toughness. Pretty bad intelligence. Incredibly high ego. Well, willpower, I should say. Willpower and then ego. Stinger, cryokinesis, pyrokinesis, sense psychic evil. Of course. Of course, it's evil twin. Alright. So for those who've never played with Evil Twin before, what can essentially happen is it's just a single temporal fugue, essentially. It's something that you've used temporal fugue. But in the same way that they will copy all of your inventory and all of your equipment. So let's say you have I don't have any for the example, but if you had, like, say, a dozen healing items, you could potentially have them just, like, scarfing down all of your healing stuff. You have grenades, so just chuck, like, 5 grenades at you and you die instantly. Great. The question is, what's the... There we go. I immediately pressed the correct button for auto-explore. Okay. Since the first feast of the visiting mate, villagers of Dupapur have joyfully feasted on shawarma pottery. Oh, don't mind me as I put my son's arts and crafts project into my mouth. The villagers of Dupapur are known throughout the salt marsh for their shrewd use of avoider gland paste in meal preparation. Okay. So, does that mean that's an item they all have? What's the talk button? He doesn't have it. This character is psychic, by the way. That's why I know that they're there. This character's also psychic. Okay. So they don't all have it. I've mentioned this before last time I played, but I'll mention it again, just in case. Is that sometimes the villagers will all have, like, the same item. It's a freaking slime weep warden. Yeah, sure, game. But yeah, you can have, like, I've had it where all of them have had, like, cybernetics just in their inventory, and basically, once you get, like, a certain amount of power, you can just, like, kill all the villagers, just slaughter them all, and get all of them. Like, all, like, just... I had, like, 50 cybernetic hearts out of, like, the starting village on one run, and I was just like, oh yeah, this is more money than I'll ever really need. Okay, so... Chumruk and Kumoruk are the quest givers. Oh yeah, and there's the zealot. So I'm pressing minus, by the way. Or not minus. Backspace. Yeah, that's the wish command. Well, for me, I wouldn't actually use the wish command for anything. Unless, like, I needed to fix the game. Because some of the wish commands are just, like... like, literal... like, debug commands to be like, hey, can you, like, attempt to reload this this tile that never loaded in? But yes, I get him to give me the quest to go to the stilt, and then I get his book. because I'm a psychopath. There's no reason to keep him alive after that. Alright. Alright, what's your reputation? You're disliked by the... Or you're not disliked. You're hated by the Yid Freehold for repeatedly beating them at that... Wow, they're just sore losers. So work to be done. Hark, Nomad. You know, once my people would spend our days wandering the salt dunes, but after hearing of the purity of the dish known as shawarma pottery, after we'd learned that we could eat arts and crafts, just clay pots. Literally just eat dirt. After we learned the purity of eating dirt, we changed our ways and consecrated new customs. May brain mites take us. Well, you wouldn't get brain mites if you stopped if you stopped eating dirt. Oh. Brain mites take us. Oh god damn. Sorry. This is the idea of them being like, yeah, I know this is like an occupational hazard for like, if you eat dirt, you might get brain parasites, but like, it's worth it. But yes, Warden Umfa It's Mo Umbo lost their angelic crab jerky consecrated in shawarma pottery, clearly. Sorry, I'm just... It's just the idea that they're eating. I mean, you could also assume that they're wording it as in like a dish, as in just like something to hold food, like a food dish. But like, they're clearly eating this. They're clearly eating the pottery. Like, there's nobody in the right mind would phrase it like that. Would you be willing to recover our sacred crab jerky for us? My tribe tells me it has been taken to Salt Edge. We will reward your labor. The humble liberator knows the sanctity of the dish known as shawarma pottery. Sure, why not? Shawarma pottery. I'm never gonna forget. I mean, I will forget that. Why? I bow down to the virtuous sea that you are here, friend. Roaming mace folk. Mace folk? Like swordsmen? Except mace folk? Came to our village the other day. While breaking bread, they spoke of an intriguing place. Tai Shuru Shuar Kiet Edge. But they wouldn't reveal the location. Would you be willing to locate it? It would be a great dower to the prayer prospects of our village. We will pay for your work. It is located next to a secluded Star Apple farm. On it. I've also had quests like that, like one of the quest givers, this guy, would give me a location and like to go somewhere, and it would be like, oh yeah, it's next to this. And then the other guy would want to know about the place that this guy's asking about, or telling me where it is. And it's like, okay, so you completed his quest for me. And all I need to do is go and look at the one quest location and like the adjacent hex, or one of like the 8 or 9. I can't remember how many adjacent. I think 8. I think 8. At all directions, including the original center point. Yeah, which would total 9 hexes or tiles. Sorry, my brain. But yeah, it's like stuff like that'll happen, and just be like, oh yeah, well this is nice and convenient. But yeah, are you actually? Oops, sorry. There's a. I keep accidentally pressing the wrong button because it's a hotkey for a different game. Okay, let's try to find somebody to water ritual with. Right, yeah. The whole being hated thing. The fact that they're hated by an actual, like, pre-generated village. I don't know, pain in the ass, because that's the it for old. Oh, I should press L and I can actually look at it. Yeah, the it for old. So I saw a I wouldn't even say spoiler image, but apparently the Deathlands are going to be replaced by the Moonstairs, which the only thing that I can think about when something like that happens is if the Deathlands are being replaced, what happens to the creatures that are going to be? Or no. Let me rephrase that. If say the Chrome Pyramids no longer have a home, because either the inhabitants of the Deathlands are also sharing the Moonstairs, or the Chrome Pyramids and the other denizens of the Deathlands are just going to be thrown into the wind. And it's like, well, I hope I don't run into any Chrome Pyramids down in the depths of, the underground. Or, like, I don't know, well, I mean, it could also be in, like, the Baroque ruins over here. Like, they might be folded into each other. But, like, I'm just like, oh god, where? Where would they end up? Or, like, underground in the Baroque ruins would make a lot of sense for the Chrome Pyramids to end up. That's still horrifying. It's like, where are you going to find them now? And it's not even just the Chrome Pyramids, because there's so many things in the Deathlands that are just horrific. But the Chrome Pyramids, the first thing that comes to mind, because that's the most evilest thing in the entire game. Let's go down to the. Ooh, let's check the ruins. But let's go to the what remains of Joppa. If you don't start in Joppa, you basically you can basically go there and just get like the quests, like items, like the required stuff. Also, I like how we have both fire and water. Not fire and water. Fire and ice. I mentioned it. I mean, I mentioned it every time I get it, but you used to toast. Wait a second. Of your venom. Oh, yeah, because there's a DC. Yeah, it automatically like procs the effect, but it doesn't necessarily confer. It auto hits and penetrates at least once, but it doesn't guarantee that it's going to go through. Right, I forgot. But yeah, we have really low HP. I should be more careful, but yeah, if you toast on like where they have like a liquid underneath them, the liquid can ignite. Well, the liquid can ignite if it's like oil or something. If it's water, it can turn into steam, which does more damage than a lot of other things. Oh, can't do that. Wait. Oh, I'm still waiting. Fair enough. Let's use this as an example. Okay. Oh no, yeah, the scalding steam. It can do a lot of damage. It can do more damage than most other effects in the game. You know what you're doing. With Toast, you basically never have to worry about waterborne enemies because you just like sit there, the shit on fire. I could die to that glow pad if I'm not careful. It's freezing. Poison it. Lay into it, back off. Wait for Toast to come back up. It's not worth much experience, but in the early game, it's better than nothing. Ooh, speaking of experience. Yeah, I need to be careful because I don't want to die from the bleed. So I'm just gonna run away and wait for my health to come back. Oh yeah, speaking of which, what skills did I start with? Stun, truth, and heal. Oh, that would have been perfect to use. Sorry. Crack my neck. Oh god. Sorry, I'm just a little scared because I know how easy it is to die in this game, especially when you have. Oh my god, we gain 1 HP. Gain 1 HP. Just as a refresher course. Yeah, -1 agility, or -1 modifier in terms of like like 16 would be a 0 modifier, sort of thing. But yeah, -2 toughness, -2 intelligence. God, we need to boost those numbers up. But the willpower is nice because somehow we can end up like getting any form of healing, or like if you get like meditate or anything that jump starts our natural healing rate. It's very good. Also, um, Sting is a 16 cooldown right now, which isn't anything spectacular yet, but I've 100% had it where my my Sting's duration, like because I believe we have like paralyzing Stinger. So I've had it where the effect lasts like 5 to 8 rounds or something, and the cooldown was like 4. So you could infinitely stun something, assuming that it would fail the save. But like it got to the point where the save was like ridiculously high. It's like, yeah, good luck. Like everything aside from robots were susceptible to it, and it was just like, oh yeah, good joke that you thought that you had any chance to survive. Level 3. I believe this is a Prothron clock. I forgot about Q-Girl. Q-Girl Pendulum. Of course. A display breadboard? Plastic housed in grainy wood is perforated in a grid of contact points. Capacitors and inductors are fastened in these spring clips and networked with a bouquet of wire. Hey, this is because I'm not remembering, but I actually have no idea what that means. I assume it's a thing in real life, but I don't really know what a breadboard is. Alright, now that we're done with that, the reason I always need to check those out, aside from just like the fact that there might be some like random loot there, like random loot that you can really find anywhere that had chests of any form, or bookshelves and stuff, is that you can actually in those random ruins, you can actually find artifacts. Or not artifacts. You can find artifacts are just things that can be unidentified that you can pick up. You can find relics, which are like magical gear. This is a Sultan's Secrets. I'll go out of my way to read it. I believe we auto picked up the data disk. Nope, wrong menu. This should be the droid scrambler, which I will get rid of eventually, but not right now. There we go, data disk. Sorry, it has been a while since I've last played, so. Alright, this is randomly generated, so I will read this. Deep in Senna, Ile? Ile Zess. Yeah, Ile Zess the Fifth. I always get sad when there's like the fifth. That means there's 4 other people with this exact same name, which kind of gets on my nerves because I'm like, I like it when the sultans all have their own unique name, and not like 5 different sultans with the exact same name. It's like, god damn it! It's not even the developers' fault because it's only like a random chance for it to happen. where they name themselves after the previous sultan. But I just find it happens so much for me. Like and it's also just the fact that I play so much of the game that like I don't I don't even register when they all have different names. I mostly register when they have like all the same name. But yeah, it's like so yeah. This for other. The reason I hate it is because you kind of forget which one's which. It's like, oh, this Elay Zest did this, and this Elay Zest did that. It's like the only indication of the different ones are, the number after the name. It's like, oh, like it's a lot easier to remember them when they, you know, it's actually a difference in the name. But yes, they discovered Ursamas. There he befriended robots and fixed a satisfying. It's like, ah, yes, I had a nice sandwich. Also robots. Yes, that is a historical site. Yeah, there should be an area on one of these. Oh, we immediately found it. The cat hedge. But might also. It's just another exact same farm. I was like so excited that I might see something different, and it's like, oh my god, I don't have enough intelligence to know how to cook. I need to fix that. Dude, sweet. I think once I get to level 6, I'll have 15 intelligence, which will make it so I can actually be able to cook. This makes me sad inside. I'm trying to think whether or not I want to head to the Rust Balls. No, I think. Alright, let's see. What is the other quest? Salt Hedge. Which is here. Oops, I went to the wrong location. Some nearby ruins. Sure. Oh yeah, I don't know how long I'm gonna be going for. Almost my my pain comes back. I'll probably call it. So I'm unfortunately still having massive toothaches. Oh, they must have gone to fight the salamander. Yeah, they did. Sure. More books. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, no, those thistles could just kill me. I think I'm just gonna leave the site just so I don't accidentally run face first into some of those. Now the question is, do I want to steal? I have no idea. Your genome enters an excited state. Would you like to spend 4 mutation points? Yes, I would. Precognition. Peer into your near future. That is safe scumming. That is safe scumming programmed into the actual game. What's your reputation? You're just like by goat folks and some random village. As a benefit, okay. The benefit is reputation with the pariahs because the water barons don't actually exist. The faction has no members yet, so. Fine, I will go to Bela as you ask. I will share my thirst with you. I have a secret to share with you. Some random ruin. Some other random ruin. Do I care about Dryas? So you could take it. It can't give me anything important. So. Yeah. You know what? Sure. Hand me this nugget. Right, let's. An artwork? What? Right, they won't actually tell me what the actual creature is. They won't tell me what an artwork is. Okay, yes, I believe this is a robot? I mean, yeah, Sparking Cable. Yeah, this is a librarian. They're always generated randomly, so they can be just about anything. Including robots. I've seen them be like ridiculous shit before. That just, oh yes, don't mind me. I'm just a kraken that, theoretically speaking, could swallow you whole, somehow fitting inside this like a 3x2 room. But yes, trading, books. Yeah, sure. Give me, or I'll give you everything. Yep, they have opinions on every one of the books that is gave them. And now, yes, I am intelligent enough to understand how to make meals. I guess I'll also take butcher just because I can. I will take acro. Oh, I can't because I don't have the agility either. Oh my god, I hate it. I really do. Uh. There's the self-discipline. I was gonna say willpower tree. Yes, self-discipline. So I get meditate. While meditating, you generate at thrice the normal rate. Each round spent meditating counts as 3 towards the duration of negative status effects. Yes. Okay, I will also take Iron Mind, Fasting Way, just as I can. Mostly for the thirst, which I don't think I'm gonna abuse Proselytize. Just like by the Children of Mammon, it's perfect. Children of Mammon are a faction that's almost always hostile, anyways. I have a secret to share with you: the location of Santa. Did this increase in price? No, it's always been 300. I love how Proselytize is so valuable. I mean, it is, because you can recruit just about anybody. But like, it's almost as, I mean, to be fair, you could use Proselytize on this guy, so it does make sense that it's only like 50% more expensive just to hire him straight up. Sorry, I'm scratching my ear. Showered a little while ago, so there's a bit of a loose detritus in my ear. It might just be soap in my ear. Share a secret with me. Location of Forgotten Ruins. Location of Tud. Okay, you have heavy explosive missiles, I believe, and bullets. I might kill some of the merchants here just because they're not really high quality. I'll kill the static merchants, like the merchants that are. There's two different types of merchants. There's the ones like this guy, who's just regular like standard bog standard, and then there's, I don't have a good example, but there's, let's say, let's look around for somebody that's just randomly spawned here. Also, are you okay? You're loved by the wardens and not hated by anybody important. So I'll share my thirst with you. I have a secret to share with you. The location of some villages. Who is a good example? There's no examples on this of the map. Okay, so like, say this guy, this Knight Commander of the Holy Temple and Mechamus Convert. So the Mechamus Converts, any merchant that has this tag, Mechamus Convert, can potentially be of any level. Because this guy's currently impossible, so you can have merchants that are, you know, impossible in comparison to your level. And that will, kind of give you a slight indication of like, hey, maybe the well, I know for a fact that the inventory of most merchants are affected based on their level or the area that they're spawned in, which correlates to also their level. And yeah, so the static pre-generated merchant types of the stuff aren't too impressive. It's the rest. It's the rest of the potential merchants in here that are incredible. Also, always look at painted stuff because they give you more, which can be useful. At daybreak on the first day of summer, a babe was found swaddled on the bank of an ancient river with its mouth full of briny water. Yeah, it's called drowning. That babe came to be known as Zest the Fifth. I believe. Yeah, you won't identify things for me. Oh, oops, I just want to look at you. Throughout. Okay, this is the third Zest. Throughout 4924 BR, Zest III laid waste to Olive Market Province, Karamu. So give me a second, I should probably bring my phone out just so I can check things. I can read chat with that, but there's certain pop-ups that I won't be able to see. I don't know why. Anybody watching already knows that's why I pulled up my phone. Alright, Elias III laid waste to Olive Market Province, Karamu, soldering together children of insects and bears. He became known as the Karamu Pest. Just imagine somebody taking like a freaking soldering iron and using that to like turn people into Siamese twins. It's like, goddamn, man, that's fucked up. Like they're just melting their skin together, essentially. Melding their skin together with like a rod of soldering iron. It's just, that just doesn't sound right. And there's these chefs and cook merchants, which do not kill them. If you do need money desperate enough to like start fighting merchants for their wares, do not kill the cooks. Cooks are one of the legendary. And your Chrome Idol, Raya. Right, I need oil. Just like by some random villagers. Noise. Cyclopean. Oh god, the freaking Cyclops. I ain't great, just like painted, has lore on them. Deep in Consulate Province, Mababal Eliz Zest II discovered the shrine at Alalep. There he befriended water barons and fixed the status bar. Of course he did. Graduation cap, which I believe is intelligence and ego. This guy can sell a nice shield. Also selling some tubes. But yeah, Cyclopean Gibbon. Yeah, these are from over here in the Banana Grove, for the record. So you can understand why I'm like, oh god, that's spawning here. Gotta be very careful in these areas. Not that the enemies will be automatically hostile unless you're, an enemy of the entire faction. But give me all these bullets. Bullets are pretty cheap. No reason not to buy as many as you can. But it's just there are times where they do somehow turn hostile. Or like the 5 ways that they can be hostile and kill you. Like mine layers, They aren't hostile, but their minds don't discriminate. Just like in real life, if you step on a mine, the mine isn't gonna like look at its like isn't gonna look at your reputation with the mine's faction before exploding in your face. Let's just auto explore on this tile. Figure out where the merchants are. Yeah, that's just a kipper of interest, anyways. Wake them. Yeah, see, this kipper has a vial of lava. They can basically anything you could cook with, they can spawn with, which includes like stuff like lava. Which, yeah, I mean, there's easier ways to get lava, but also if you're in need of lava for whatever reason, they can be a supply of that. Also, don't walk on these like I just did, because they can kill you. But yes, these Glowsphere merchants are not. The Ray Cat herders or cat herders can have glow spheres, which is why I'm going to brutally murder him as the sun rises. Oh, this is what I was talking about, where certain merchants can spawn here. Just oh, no. The Brine Stock Gate cannot be closed. You in the way. Oh God, please come back. I need to use you as an example. This is one of the problems with the converts is that they will run from you. But yes, yeah. See, this is Zetachrome, one of the strongest material, actually the strongest material outside of like relics. Aku Supremas, yeah. See, more money than everything I have combined. Yeah, it only comes out to 266 drams. Yeah, Aku Supremas, great trade items. Assuming that you have, because their price will fluctuate depending on your ego and your reputation with the faction you're trading with. But yeah, they are very good for their. I think they're like weightless. I mean, obviously, obviously, my weight over here is fluctuating because I'm buying things I can't actually hold. But I believe the Taco Supremas have no weight because they're food items, so they're the perfect trade good for carry weight. But I unfortunately can't buy any of what they have on offer, which is sad. I can buy their bullets, which are cheap enough that there's no point not to. Also, I do have a weird artifact, an acid grenade. It's something that's something my clone can come with. I forgot I had an evil twin. I need to be careful. I need to essentially equip. I need to get dominate so I can get a side NPC and level them up so they can kill me. Not like not actually kill me, but like kill my clone. He lays the fourth in 4204 PR. He lays Zest the fourth. Peridot born. Pest of Duna died of natural causes. He was 83. Yacht Explorer will also automatically. Oh. Case in point, Mine Layer. People are just randomly dying. I say randomly. I know exactly why they're dying. Deep in. Ooh, there's something really good here, by the way. An iron root club. Is it good? I can't remember. It's halfway decent, anyways. Intamu. Elias the Fourth discovered Dakish. There he befriended flowers and stained the glass window. I like to imagine like he didn't. He just it was just an accident. It was like, oops, I didn't mean to stain the window. Wait, these are quite good. Thank you all, sure, why not? And then drop the ashes I picked up. Boy, yeah. Oh, don't equip it. Don't equip it. Because I know my clone is gonna spawn and just shoot me in the head with it. But yes, this mind layer is both a source of infinite mines, assuming that you can find them before you trigger them. Laser explosive egg. What? Still pistons fire in alternating quattro and toad the miner enter mines in esoteric patterns across the ground. When her topographic instincts are sated, a hatch opens and she lays her explosive egg. Oh. This dude is upset at the miner because he triggered one of its traps. Now, I wouldn't be able to fight the miner, but this random dude can do it for free. Which, it makes sense. On humanoid mimicry of animals and plants. Besides nano fingers. Mods are nice to pick up. I'll leave him alive just so I can buy from him later. You wouldn't happen to have anything. You want to kill this guy? Sure, why not? Yeah, sure, go ahead. Just imagine you trying to run away from somebody and they're like, yeah, sure, I'm just gonna set you on fire and shoot you in the back. No, I didn't get a chance to shoot him in the back, but I thought about it. But yes, now I have liquid gold. And yeah, I'm gonna kill this guy. Okay, I need to be careful I don't get killed by him, but I should have stuff that's quite useful for me. Oh god. I almost killed myself. Oh, I broke a bunch of shit. Damn it. So you gotta be careful when you drop AoEs down. This Elasticline skin suit. Quite nice. So you gotta be careful you don't steal stuff and then get attacked by somebody. Just test the waters, make sure nobody's trying to chase me down for what I just did. They're more concerned about whether or not I stole from him rather than whether or not I just murdered him. But yeah, the armorers come with carbide hammers, so they are not people you want to be messing with. Oh yeah, probably didn't end up getting his. Doesn't matter, Flash. Okay. Sometimes you gotta make mistakes. Also, yeah, let's actually equip the carbine. Just to help me murder this guy. And then immediately go into my inventory, unequip it. Speaking of equipment, let's put these daggers on because they're the best I got. Roxons, leave that where it is. Throwing grenade, don't do that. Floating glow sphere. Quite nice. I was about to say I'm pretty dumb. I might not be able to identify this, but nope, I did. There's something I already had. Pocketed vests are worth a pretty penny. The carbide hammers were something. The maces. Sorry, my throat seems a bit hoarse. It's just I haven't talked much in the past few days, so. Oh, there we go. So basically, the reason I unequip the gun is because my clone, or in this game, your clone rarely checks your inventory. Jeez. Oh no, it It did. Oh, we have sense psychic, so it can see me through walls. It knows exactly where I'm standing. Also, dude, yeah, okay. I was killed by the evil version of myself. Yeah, so it saw the fact that I had a gun in my inventory. It literally, I should have put like some bow or something I had to ammo for on, because oftentimes they won't switch your equipment, but they will equip stuff, so they'll equip grenades and stuff. But I was hoping that it wouldn't check that I had a gun, but it did, and it was like, oh yeah, sure. And yeah, just murdered me. Probably didn't do very good on the daily. Oh, what? Not connected to provider. Yeah, sure can. Sure. Well, yeah, that was the daily. Well, the question is, how do I want to continue? Do I want to just explore around? Because I've beaten the game in its current state before, twice actually. Question is, do I want to show anything off? Do I just want to screw around? Do I want to see things I haven't seen before? Alright, keep your eye. If you start with Nomad and you start in the desert village, you can have enough reputation with the Ishikari or Ishachari or however you want to pronounce it. The desert tribe. Yeah, you can basically make them completely neutral to you, which is how I usually do things. And you also start with Wilderness of Lower Salt Dunes, so you can essentially very easily what I call stealth rushing. I'm just going to do that as an example. I'm going to take tonic allergy, which makes it so I can have bad side effects from taking tonics. Which, if you didn't know, you can actually it actually can happen. It's just the difference between uh like it being like a 5 to 10% chance. I can't remember what it was, but like a small chance from to 33%. So you know like basically if I take a tonic, I I was gonna say conflict chance, not a conflict, but I have a 1 in 3 chance of having something awful happen depending on the tonic, and usually it'll happen in such a way that it will partially negate the effects of the tonic. Like I can take like a blaze injector so I don't freeze to death, and then I just set myself on fire, and it's like, oh great. But yeah, I like to turn my tonics into food, which bypass tonic allergy. But I say bypass, but tonics are really strong in and of themselves, and turning them into food isn't necessarily how you want to use all of your tonics. If you don't have tonic allergy, what you want to do is you want to like save like a copy or two of all of your tonics, just so you can use them naturally for their exact effects, rather than like having a random chance to get the right food that you want. But with tonic allergy, basically, shoehorn yourself and then never actually thinking about that. But yeah, I'm gonna do my unstable genome chimera build for no other reason than just because I can. I haven't beaten the game as chimera because as a chimera you can't abuse any. Uh, well, I say any. You can't use any of the mental mutations you don't find on items. The only mental mutations you can get are from things you can wear on your body, which mostly are like light manipulation, or you can get from food. So light manipulation, beguiling, burgeoning, other clairvoyance you can find on an item. Infusion you can get on items definitely. Cryokinesis, I think you can find on an item. Domination, I think you can get a very specific, like robot only variant from an item, but yeah, I think that's it. Ego projection, I don't think you can get ego projection as a chimera in any way, shape, or form. Force bubble, you can just get a force bracelet, which replaces the effect and just uses batteries instead. Force wall, well, but you can again get a force bracelet. It's essentially the same effect, though you can't use it on enemies. Indulge, and not much needs to be said about that. Mass mind. I mean, on a character that doesn't have mental mutations, mass mind doesn't matter. Mental mirror. You can get effects that increase your mental armor and cause similar effects. So there's an item based variant for this effect, where you can just like buff up your wisdom to high hell for the mental armor. Precognition, no source but for a chimera. Psychometry, you can get that from food. Arcanesis, again, I think you can get it even on a chimera, since psychic uh, isn't necessarily something you need to worry about. Space time vortex, you can definitely end up with that with the chimera in one way or another. Not that you'd want to use it because it literally sends you potentially anywhere in the game, which is usually to the surface. But have you seen the surface? It can send you anywhere in the game. It can send you 30 floors down, 30 strata down. Hell, it can send you strata up if it specifically teleports you to the one area in the game where you go up. Stunning force. I don't think you can get this from, unless you can get it from like a historical artifact or relic. I don't think there's a form of it, but you can just use a stun grenade or a flashbang. Sunder Mind. Fortunately, you can't find that. I don't believe. Siphon Vim. Maybe you can find it. Empathy. Kind of non-issue. This you can get from food. This you can get from food. This you can get from an item. Time dilation is, it's complicated. I don't think you can get this. You might be able to get this from an item. I can't remember. But it's also like if you, because you get temporal fugue from an item. If you have temporal fugue, don't take time dilation. If you somehow have both of these, you will temporal. It's basically like equal opportunity slowdown. It just screws up everybody's turns. And guess what? It affects the people that are closest to you. Which, when there are 5 of you, all spawning right next to you, it just so happens that you are the closest person to your clones. And your clones are also closest to each other. So you just slow down everything. Starting at yourself. And it's like, oh, great. What a useful effect. But yeah, so essentially Chimera, the way that Chimera works, for anybody who's never played the game before, don't know why I explain this game. Like I mean, it's mostly just a refresher for myself more than anything. But basically, when you mutate, you have a 1 in 3 of your mutations will give you a limb, and if you have unstable genome, because these aren't, you don't mutate these in. These are just what you start with. So I can get these later. Well, I can get some of them later. I can't get stuff like Beak. Like any of the 1 points, or any of the 1 point mutations aren't available from stable genome, or just mutating into in general. They just get removed from the pool. So if you don't take them, if you don't take something like night vision and character creation, you never get a chance to get it. Aside from just like accidentally getting it somehow. Oh yeah, so unstable genome, you randomly when you level up, you get a mutation. So, and it'll trigger as many times as you have the effect. So I have it 5 times, so I'll get 5 different limbs. Though it does have the problem where you can end up getting really bad mutations. Like you can say get, I don't know, like confusing stinger, which is really sad because if you get any of these 3 stingers, you can't get the other 2 stingers, unfortunately. Though it would be really cool if in the future they make it so you can have all 3 stingers at once. That'd be so fucking stupid, though. You would literally be just an absolute menace. Or like, imagine if you could get Quills and Carapace on the same character, like just just insane defense. Oh yeah, there's some things, or like freezing and flaming. If you could have both of these, it would. I mean, they kind of counteract each other, but also it's just like it would still be pretty funny. But yeah, I'm hoping for uh, Carapace just because it's better than Quills. Unfortunately, though, I do love Quills. It just ends up being like such a weak mutation like game in comparison to Carapace, as it doesn't scale well. And yeah, now we do the stats, and I like to throw my stats. I like to basically get my stats as high as they will go naturally. But before, basically, like let's say I take this down to like 10. It shows you right here that it. Let me take intelligence down. Yeah, it shows you right here that this is costing me more points. So I have to go to like 17 with everything and then buff one thing up. Or, well, I like to take everything up to 17. So this is technically at 17 and getting a +2 from my starting calling. In fact, I'm a nomad. I'll take this up to 20, which is great, and then I'll take like one thing up to 18, which will just be my willpower. That's the way I always like to do it. Just because I will usually get these all to grow stronger just from injecting myself with Eater Nectar, which isn't exactly the easiest thing to get, but once you can get it the first time, you can essentially get infinite of it. Oh yeah. Clean that up to myself. You know what? I was thinking of going Sultans, but let's go Java just again. Like every time I play this, there's like a 50-50 chance that I'll decide to like re-tutorialize myself. Nobody else watching, so starting Java, you essentially talk. Oh. First, I talk to this this person, get the quest he offers to go to the stealth, so I can stealth rush if I feel like it. Then I get the job from Amet. Then I get the job from Archive, though I don't have what I need to complete the quest. And yeah, I've already read all this dialogue before, so I don't want to torture myself with having to read every single line every time I play the game. So, and then you steal the from the 3 easy chests. Make sure you close the door behind you so nobody sees you stealing a bandage from somebody's house. I had this guy sell close fears before, but I can just get them from the stilt, so it doesn't matter. Ooh, I got Iron battle axe. Counterweighted hand axe. Whoops. So there is between +1 to hit and +1 damage. I think I'll go for the +1 to hit. Let's get the secret upper chef. Whoops. Completely forgotten what the hotkeys are. Then read this, which is random every time, which is why I'll read it every time. Throughout the entirety of 1768 BR, Quethrixes ravaged all of Mabamrod, sowing with salt the fields of urchins and succulents. She became known as the Mabamrod. Whoa. That's also always a guaranteed historical site, which will usually have at least one, if not more, historical relics. So I have all the quests in this area, so that's right next to the Rusted Archway. I'm going to start by going to the Rust Wells, which is potentially a really dangerous area. I say potentially. It is a very dangerous area. No doubt about it, honestly. My brain just like absolutely fried for a second there when I tried to reload. And I was like, wait a second, did I just do something wrong? And say, nope. But yeah, these, I don't have any more ammo. These baboons can murder me. But I do have a pretty good piece of armor. 125 experience, which is a lot more than the last time I murdered one of those things. Well, last time I remember killing one of those things. I don't remember them killing. I mean, that makes experience. No, Kazu usually gives 20 experience. Yeah, 125 from the baboons. Quite nice. Yeah, they just crit me with one of the rocks. Okay, see. See, I have the option of a good stinger, a bad stinger plus a body part, and fucking carapace. I'm gonna take the body part though. A twig grows out of my left arm. That might be a limb. Well, I say limb. Obviously, it's a hand, which means another body part, another weapon. Sorry, my brain is so fried. But yeah, with enemies that have the behavior to like run and throw shit at you, shoot you, just hide, and they'll usually like try to round the corner to chase you. Just like in real life, how people are dumb enough to like. I mean, when you play video games, any sort of like PvP game, where if you ever get even slightly hurt, and then you act as if you're the one who's afraid, like if you start running away from the other person, they'll turn and hit you. And it's just like, why would you ever do that? If you were running in the first place, why would you ever turn around? It's like, how dumb can you be? And it's like the amount of times where I've just been like, where I've abused that. Because I know people, like, 99% of the people in the, the PvP games that I play, where, like, that's like a normal thing where, you chase somebody for whatever reason. 9 times out of 10, if you, like I said, if you become the one who's running away, your opponent will automatically be like, "Oh, it's my turn." It's like, no, I'm doing that so you'll turn around, because I know people, I know people do that, and the amount of times it works is ridiculous. It's like, the amount of times I've pretended to run away just to turn a corner, break a line of sight, and then, like, immediately be like, I really shouldn't have fucking chased after me. And then killed somebody. It's like, always makes me laugh. But yeah, even in this game it works. Grew a tentacle in my body, which is another hand. I love Chimera. They just become a whirling dervish of limbs. Their only problem is getting like good armor. They really have to rely on their body armor, which is why you want Carapace instead of Quells, because Quells just doesn't compete in the late game. And late game, your body slot is super important for a Chimera. Ibn Kashur. Masay II stumbled upon a clan of unshelled reptiles performing a secret ritual. Because of his philosophical visage, they ferociously rebuked him and declared him a villain to the kind. And the reason that is for every armor piece you have, like say if I had like 3 faces, the amount of defensive values would be split between the 3. So I wouldn't be able to gain the defensive bonus. 3 different pieces of equipment on the same slot. The only way to get, let's say I had, oh god, I just started bleeding. Yeah, the only way to get the armor effect of like say like the best armor in the game for that slot would be to have as many of those armor pieces as I had plays. Which I don't know about you, but having 3 of the best armor in the game, for example, is not easy. Also, this thing can crit me for a lot of damage. I need to be careful. Good, that thing is dead. Right, I did level up, so I will take self-discipline from meditate, because I just like meditation. It's a great substitute for regeneration if you don't have the option for it. I will also take intelligence just so I get more skill points. In the early game, it's pretty important to get certain high-powered things. Oh, these are cutscenes. One of them is green, so it just didn't register to my head. These are frog or something? I can't remember. It's been a long time since I've looked up what web toad means. But usually if you ever see that, sorry, it essentially means they're 2 different factions combined. Like if you see like Kudzu Symbiote, that means they're 1 part Kudzu, 1 part whatever their actual faction is. So you can end up in situations where something that would normally not attack you because it's not, something that you're an enemy with, will suddenly attack you because it's part something that does hate you. And it's like, oh great. It's like, oh, suddenly I'm extremely hated. Okay, let's meditate and then just wait. Boy, yeah. Oh god, the meditation heal rate is amazing, even without regeneration. Then you slap regeneration on top of that, and it's like, oh. It's like literally just my entire body regrowing. Like nobody's business. Arbor's Blossom, which is good for making Arbor's Tonic. Or Love Tonic. Arbor's Tonic. I mean, same difference. I'm also collecting flyers so I can appease Argive when he asks me to do it. The funny thing is he's probably going to be like, oh yeah, thank you for the random like bits and bobs I asked you for. It's like, oh yeah, I also need wire. It's like, yes. It's, I just so happen to already have the wire. I like to imagine like whenever you already have All games should have it where if you already have the quest item, they should be like, "Where did you get this?" It's like, oh yes, my jade figurine was stolen. It's like, you mean this one? It's like, you must have stolen it. Clearly, you stole it. You stole it. Now you're giving it back to me. What the fuck? Like just the idea of like an NPC accusing you of stealing something that they asked you to go retrieve. It's like what? I love them games. And in this game, like, you could even mention, like, the game characters could even be like, did he use a mental mutation to predict that I would want you to give me this? And like within World, it wouldn't even actually surprise people for you to actually be like somebody that can see the future. That's in the game. God, how many things are shooting at me right now? Oh, this bat is not hostile. Oh god, be very careful of slime with those plants on the ground because you could slip and slide into something you don't want to be next to. Congealed Skulk. True, huge. Please die, by the way. A burrowing claws plus a new body part. And then I'm rapidly mutating. Oh, fuck. Exactly what I didn't want. Sure, I'll take it though. Let's take horns up a notch. But yeah, the reason I took horns is because they get a armor value upgrade, and am I really planning to max out? I mean, I kind of have to. At least the 10, but they don't scale very well. The reason I'm taking is for the extra limb. What did I get? I have another 2 hands. I got another 2 hands in the meantime. Wait a second. 3 hands. Fucking 3 hands. I was like legitimately being like, where's my other limbs? I only have 4 hands. Stand still and let my natural healing factor kick in. Now some of these things, and now I'm going to reorder my inventory. Also, it's cute that the top 2 that the top 2 turn into claws, because this is a leaf. This is a leaf, and it has claws somehow. This is a very sharp leaf. This is another left leaf. Alright, this is where I'm gonna put my torch. Hand axe. Vine Reaper. Iron Dagger. I could throw up a second torch, but I'll just punch people with my twig. But yeah, on Chimera, I like to go 2 routes. Or 2 weapon routes. Aside from dual wielding, which of course I'm going to take. But I like to go short blades because you just end up with like a whole bunch of arms. And axes, because having so many limbs. The reason I mentioned arms for short blade is because you can have arm blades, which are a little rare. But once you start getting them, you end up with a lot of them. So if I have like, I don't know, let's just say like the normal amount, it's like 4. Well, I mean, you start with 2 arms, but usually you end up with 4 arms at some point. Or 4. You'll end up with the mutation, multiple arms, which will end up with you having 4. So you end up with, you put axes in every hand that's open. You put an arm blade on every arm, and you just turn into an actual meat grinder. And it's just a sight to behold. Take short blades because I do have my claws, which are short blades. I'll also take acrobatics for the ability to dodge bullets. Oh god, I need to turn off that behavior. If you have boring claws on. But I mean, if you have the mutation, oh, whoops! I just realized I put those in the clawed hands. Right. Not sure. I'll leave the my right hand. So I am right-handed in real life. I'll leave that claw. So no, I need it to be. I need it to be. I need it to be the axe. Otherwise, I won't be able to use my axe skills once I get them. But there we go. I was wondering. I was like, I could have sworn I should have enough weapons to fill up my hand slots properly. But now I have claws, which scale. I can't actually look, but they scale infinitely with your strength, effectively, anyways. Well, everything else has a limit. Strength bonus cap, but these are natural weapons, so they don't suffer the same penalty. Which is why any of the natural weapons are insane. Well, aside from stingers. But the thing is that if a stinger hits, it automatically penetrates. So you gotta give it credit that it's pretty good on that front. It's not for the damage, anyways. It's for the effect. I slipped on the slime and fell down. Great. Sting. Oh shit. Really don't want to get shot by that Slugs now. Say that as if I have a choice. Let's just meditate. Hope that it keeps hitting the wall like it is. I'm hoping it's gonna like break the wall or like, turn the corner like this. So I have using venom. I mean, this thing is just gonna randomly act. Should be good for me. There we go. Okay. Yeah, those slug snouts can really destroy you at any level. I mean, it's with a gun, effectively. All right, that is enough wire, so I'm gonna keep picking it up. All right, feather, Hellworm skull, which is completely useless because I don't have a head slot for it. All right, I can't actually see where I'm going. I didn't actually come down the stairs; I just accidentally fell. Oh, okay, don't just randomly walk into every cutscene. And then I did it too. And then I got exactly the punishment I expected. Yep, and I did it again and got the exact punishment I expected. Yeah, a bunch of my stuff just rotted away, but it's fine. It'll be fine. It always is. But yeah, Chimera is really fun. Just conceptually, the idea of having just so many limbs. So the only downside is the randomness, but that's fine. Well, I mean, I say randomness. Randomness in the sense of the way that I'm building it with, um, what's it called? Unstable genome. Because I could pick exactly what I want, but then I lose a limb, and I'd rather have as many limbs as I can. One of my daggers gone. Unfortunate. Let's murder these. I was supposed to call them bugs, bats. But yeah, see, multiple arms grow in another body part. Brawn grows out of my booty. But yes, you can now see as my body has become a little bit crazy. Is that this, this frond, quote unquote, is an arm. So I have. Oh yeah, now I have fist, fist, arm, another arm, another fist. So yeah, how many am I working with right now? Okay, because this hand is clearly holding this torch. Okay, so I have one weapon. Oh no, let's get it right. So I have horns, which are effectively their own fully scalable weapon. Horns. I have claw, uh, hand, hand. Oh, okay. Let me actually count. Let me count, not just like say these things out. Yeah, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not including arms, not including my stinger. I have 10. I have currently 10 available attacks to me, which I don't have to explain to you how crazy that is. Okay, let's also get surprise. So +2 to dodge value. But yeah, this bear right here is gonna get confused, and then I'm gonna attack it like many times. Hopefully, I should be able to take down this bear. There we go. Wasn't easy, mind you, but that's just due to the fact that I don't have any skills yet. Yeah, well, my weapons will reduce the dust, but honestly, at this point, it doesn't really matter. The only downside is it's going to be such a pain to equip all these weapons. So that I'm effectively going to have like a lot, and I mean a lot of growing pains trying to equip the 10 or so, the 9 or so axes I need. And the best part is, I'm not even necessarily done yet. I have I've effectively the chance to grow. Let's assume I'm not counting like any items that could give me multiple limbs. I say robo hands. I have, let's just say 10 more mutations I might be able to get. Let's just say 10. There might be less. Okay, let's go 5. Okay, so 5 more mutations. So that's potentially 5 more hands. That's just hands. Not including the potential to get arms. Arms with hands at the ends of them are exactly what I need. Because if we look at arms, yeah, these are the ability, or these can have like utility stuff and wrist blades. So not just stat bonuses and more weapons. So yeah, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we currently have 5 arm slots. You also got 2 hand slots, which is great. But yeah, the only downside is because this build era this run has been extremely lucky. The only downside is the quills. If the quills, like even if I didn't get Carapace, even if it was just neither, it would have just been like magnifique. But I'll trade Carapace for I'll trade Carapace for another limb, for another arm. That is, because almost all. Actually, have I got anything else? I need to check one more time. Have I gotten anything else? Uh, I think I've only gotten more hands. I haven't gotten a single extra face. I haven't gotten a single. I haven't got a single extra anything aside from hands, which is the best one because the funny thing is, if I don't end up with extra limbs on any other slot, that's actually incredibly good for my defensive capabilities. It can't. The thing is that the reason that I'm very worried about my body slot is because my other slots will be like weakened by having so many of them. But if I only have one of each, what'll essentially end up happening is I don't have to worry about any of that. Like if I never, I mean, I know I will get at least one more head. One more head is inevitable. Another leg slot or another foot slot or whatever is also inevitable. And of course, I can't really benefit from. Oh no, I can. Actually, shields on this character. That's also a thing. Is I could also take like. I could also put on like 5 shields, which can, I believe, potentially raise my armor value for 5 on as many attacks as I have shields on my arms. And if I get the shield perk, I can do it twice per. Which the result is kind of crazy. When you can block so much. Kind of gets really, really hilarious. Because if you have the shield perks, you can also have it so, like, if you block, there's a chance you stun. So basically, something attacks me like 6 times somehow. Well, because it has multiple limbs. It hits me 6 times. It doesn't even get to like the first round of attack before it's stunned itself. To move back so I get shot at. I'd rather not be shot at. Let's meditate and just patiently wait. Luckily, one of the Snapjaws accidentally attacked one of the neutral parties on the map. Let's take the steel knife. Yeah, I think these Snapjaws aggro the dragonflies, or maybe they're always aggro. I have no idea. But the result was the dragonflies going to war with the Snapjaws, that is, which is purely beneficial for me. Oh, no, I don't want to attack it. I just want to look at it. In 44, 50, 51, let's say 4 again, BR, Masaya the Untitled died of natural causes. She was 82 years old. The Untitled? Never seen that before. Unless that's their title, The Untitled. Just be an absolute mouthful, if you ask me. Okay, just keep vision blocking them so they'll run up to me. Or they'll just stick there and I can full heal and then come around and murder them. Weird artifacts, which is exactly what Argive needed. Once that quest is done, I can immediately choose to go to Golgotha if I really feel like it. I got purposely made my voice crack just to emphasize how little I want to go to Golgotha. It has been a while, I might just wind up dying doing that. Though once you learn Golgotha, it's really easy to cheese. And to be fair, you can't really cheese anything in this game. Honestly, the game is such a... I mention this every time. But either you bully this game or this game bullies you. And why would you... Why would you want to be on the receiving end? I'm just getting the shit kicked out of you. Unless you're a masochist. Which, I mean, this game is perfect. Because if you just let the game bully the shit out of you, very hard. Okay. Stilt goer. Or stilt, what's it called? Zealot, yeah. The forces of slaughter have rearranged parts of the body. You ponder how rearrangement means something different in each of its contexts. Pieces on a game board, favorite courtiers in a king's hall, and parts on the body. Disliked. My man really likes giving disagreeing with theorems. Disliked by oozes. That's fine. I like to raise my reputation just in case it takes a hit somehow. With everybody I care about, that is. Oh, that's why I got the quest updated, because my recycling suit is no longer equipped. What? The hell did that noise come from? I just heard like the EMP noise and it scared the shit out of me. Yeah, leveled up once more. Oh yeah, we've already used most of our unstable genomes. Just one left. I've had it where it's triggered like 0 times in like 10 levels, and it's just like, wow, I've got Jack Endor shit. Tactics I don't really care about. Well, I mean, I'll care about later, but not right now, because all it'll give me is like hurdle, which not. If I'm getting shot at and really worried about running away, I'm already pretty screwed. I don't need to do Red Rock. So I'm gonna Stilt Rush instead. Well, I say Stilt Rush at this point, it's not Stilt Rushing. Stealth rushing is when you go to the stealth at level 1. Which, at level 1, is very early. You can get easily... I mean, I could also get easily killed. But the odds of me getting easily killed with 50 HP running to the stilt, like, unless I do something very stupid, it's not gonna happen. Honestly, my priority right now is to get enough agility. Enough agility, enough skill points that I could buy dual wielding. This is Lair of a legendary Snapjaw. And let's just back up. Then into a bit of a choke point, or at least a little bit of an advantage advantageous position for me. Let's Quillfling repeatedly. That's a nice AoE damage. That's just one saving grace. Oh God, what's it called? I forgot the name of it. Quills. Quill's one saving grace is that it has an AoE component. If it didn't have an AoE component, it would just be like absolutely useless. But Quillfling can hit things in the air and things all around you. So if you're really in an emergency situation, you just Quillfling over and over again, and either you die or they die. Much better than just you dying. At least as a second category when you live. Blackguard, Iron Mason, Water Skin. I'll pick up the Water Skin at least in the early game. You want a certain amount of them. God, there's so many of you. The only good thing about Confusion is that it's not even. I was about to say the only good thing about it is that is one good thing about it. Is that it can potentially cause an enemy to attack something that triggers a like anybody's played Dwarf Fortress, something similar to a loyalty cascade, where essentially, like say a Snapjaw attacks like an ooze or something, which they're normally neutral to. Basically, it attacks something that basically causes it to retaliate, and then that creature retaliating causes that creature's faction or the thing that it is attacked to decide, oh, I need to do it. We need to defend ourselves from this hostile whatever. And then basically, upon creatures attack, basically the two factions will start warring for no good reason. And it's just like, oh, great. Start absolutely murdering each other. It's just like, exactly what I wanted. Snapjaws and some random other creature type just duking it out. Let's get rid of some of this rusted garbage and just generic garbage while I'm at it. Also, yeah, kudzu stems from the rust wells, or just kudzu in general, are great sell value. For their weight, this is 1 pound for 4 drams, which is a lot better than carrying it. Let's also get rid of the steel wire. Not worth much. Well, actually, no, I may as well keep it. Because you can actually lay wire. I've never made good use out of it, but I also have never had it. Also, if you have a rusted piece of scrap, there's no point of selling it, or destroying it, or getting rid of it at all, because the game doesn't care that it's rusted for dismantling it, which is always hilarious to me. Where should we go? I'll probably keep the recycling suit around for at least a little bit longer. Let's buy some bullets. Let's buy 2 pieces of yuckweed stem. And let's even up the trade by selling some of my kudzu stems. Oh yeah, don't you want me, baby? Don't you me? Let's water ritual. That's what I actually care about. I did the first stage from you. You know what? Let's take the water from there. Let's look at this. Oh yeah, what I was gonna say is, don't you want the secrets to the chef? She definitely does. She or whatever. Freezing Ray, which is definitely very good. Sorry. Let's get a freezing face. After was that a what? I assume it's a mushroom cat, but also like what? Is it a face? It's a head. It's a head and a face. It's a head and a face because it says sensory frills, which means it's clearly it. I have a mushroom. I have a literal mushroom head on my body. Oh God, I love this game. Just like the flavor of you growing, like not just a normal head, just not like another one of you. Essentially, one of you. But like and a completely alien head to like the rest of your body. It's like, oh yeah, don't mind him. He's just also me. He's just also me. I love stuff like that. Um, let's get a meal prep and butchery just so I can start getting those food items. The butchery isn't great. Wait, Troy. There's a funny thing where if you have the droid scrambler, all way droids, including legendary ones, won't be able to turn hostile to you. So you could kill this librarian, though you shouldn't. Um, give at least these robotic librarians aren't like the wall. I can't remember the name of it, but like there's a certain type of plant that walks along the walls, and it's just like livid creeper, I think. Like the livid creepers, like the librarian version of that will just go through the wall, and they will potentially just like just like just just go to where you can't talk to them. Or if you have burrowing claws, you can potentially just automatically attack walls as you walk into them, which because they're on top of the wall, because they're literally in the wall, you attack them by accident, and then you end up killing them, and then you're out one of the best sources of XP in the entire game. It's like, oh my god, no. Uh, I'm probably gonna at least abuse proselytize a bit because I'm a Chimera and I kind of need to abuse every advantage I would have. Assuming I want to beat the game as this character at any point. Right. Chopper Recoiler. Let's crack that open just to find out what battery we're dealing with. I assume it's a regular one, but I could be wrong. It's a regular low one, which means it wouldn't. That's the reason I wanted to take it out, was to also check it on its charge. Low battery, low chem cell, on upgrade. I think that wouldn't actually be able to teleport us anywhere. So honestly, just throw it in for now. Right, it's kind of weird for that new menu. What? You just like my trees. Imagine knowing the reputation you have with trees. Imagine asking a tree and it being like, I don't like you. It's like, wow. that is both deeply upsetting and also like completely irrelevant. Because like, what do I care what the trees think? But still. Alright, let me read this. Route 3995 BR. Say the second rampaged through all of Pawn City state of Shash, kidnapping the smartest children from the homes of water barons and fish. He became known as the Shash Shara. That was hard to pronounce. Sorry, I laugh. It's just the idea of him like stealing the smart kids. It's like, are kids really that intelligent? It depends. A lot of kids are often smarter than adults, but it really depends. Um, actually, I probably have a high enough level that I can proselytize this guy with some amount of spam. Just keep doing this stuff 5 more times. Yeah, actually, no, I'm not too lazy for that. That essentially means we need like 3 or 4 more levels, and we'll be able to proselytize everybody in the still. If I had like um, any other form of like if I dominate or something, I would easily be able to steal everything from the still. You have a floating glow sphere. So I'm going to brutally murder you, which is going to catch me the ire of some of the other NPCs. Tis fine though. By the way, there are potentially legendaries like surrounding the stilt grounds in the salt desert, so you gotta be very careful you don't end up like walking into say like something that would kill you instantaneously, like what could have just happened to me, or just like any Dawn Gliders, or just anybody with a gun. You know that too. The warden isn't gonna protect me from this chef, but I don't really need protecting from the chef either. Okay, I think they finally deactivate. They have a limit to the extent at which they are enraged by the death of another. Fortunately, they won't chase me to the ends of the earth. Oh yeah, these are the desalination pills, which are great sources of money. In the other game, we don't really have another source of infinite money. Okay, Masay the first. After striking a deal with grazing hedonists, Masay convinced them to help her found a workshop in Azor for the purpose of glass-blowing paradots. They named it the Workshop of the Lustrous. That might be a location. That's a location. Yeah, Bamrod. Nothing I can see from cursor glance. Unfortunate. There's usually one per area. Which, of course, as they are... What did he eat? You tossed a stained Dawnglider egg, a dram of desert ash, a dash of philosophical boulder, and some joined salt kraken larva. Sorry. Just the idea of eating larva. God, I saw salt kraken, and that's what made me like immediately perk up. It's like, what do you mean? Also, there's no reason not to kill this. I mean, aside from dealing with the bodyguards, which is a leech, and obviously like any sort of NPC that would aggro on me for it. But killing them because I don't need them as a merchant because I can't use their equipment ever. So I'm not Trukin. The only value for me is the trade value, which I'm just gonna proselytize merchants. Because I don't like juggling my inventory that much. Deep in Alapar, Yothrapater discovered Sarsipa Spire. There she befriended antelopes and set a glimmering amethyst into a newly forged amulet. Oh, that is... Alapar is a historical site. Historical site for... Deep Jungle, I assume? I thought the Deep Jungle or the Hills. One of the two. Or the Ruins. I don't know, I don't have the perfect memory I would require to know that off by heart. This guy is definitely good to have. Now the question is, can I proselytize you? Which the answer is probably maybe. It's just a question of how long am I willing to repeat that same cycle, pressing the button over and over again to attempt to do so. And by make, I mean cook. Right. Exotic, yuckweed. Yeah, there's nothing I'm going to be able to make that increase my ego with those ingredients. Which is sad. But I should be able to trade out some of my random garbage. And buy it here too. Sell that. Basically, all I need to do is like gain a level or two. My amorphisms about birds. Because after I gain a few more levels, they increased like the difficulty of proselytizing people in the still. For no other reason than to nerf the ability, because you can literally get proselytized from this guy on any character. And just to make it harder for you to, like, at level 5, proselytize all the merchants and have them give you everything. Because it was kind of ridiculous. But also, it still works. Because that's what I do still. And it's not that, and I went over this before, but it's not that I can't get all the money, because all you need to do is, I mean, I can just use this as an example. Legendary Snapjaw Brute. Hired by a wine cult for attending a funeral for their leader. Gonna kill that. But basically, this is a desalination pellet. It's worth around like 50 to 70 drams of water, give or take. And it will give me half of the water. It'll give me 50% of this this pool of salty water as fresh water. So, you know, it's basically 5 times the amount of money I spent on it. And all I need to do is run from one corner of the world back to here and back and forth for like a few hours, and then I'll have all the money I'd ever need. I'm just cutting out the middleman. I'm just cutting out the effort. Just cutting out the effort. Yeah, I should probably equip some of my other weapons. But also... yeah, it'll be fine. While wandering around Baramrod, Ithorpater discovered Alalip Steeple. There she befriended urchins and dug into the earth's strata. Ramrod. Sandal of the River Wives. Longsword. I don't want to pick up the freaking corpse. Okay, you're dead. I don't have anything impressive for me to steal. Armor. Impressive. Yeah, don't care about bows. Not enough for me to go through the effort of actually equipping one. All right, yeah, let's. Why would you equip it like that? I mean, I guess. Just stop equipping it. Like that's why I don't like two-handed weapons. Is because a lot of the time it takes a while for you to juggle your inventory, and I just don't see the point. One-handed weapons, when you throw it onto a slot, you know exactly where it's gonna end up. Just in the slot you actually told the game to equip it, and not in the hand that you were told it to equip it, and just any other hand you have. So let's say any other hand you have in your inventory. What did he mean by that? I say that as if you can't, as if you don't have the ability to get like a hand as a weapon. You can definitely equip hands to your hands, which though most of them aren't that effective, it is something you can do for just shits and giggles. So I need to get my axe up and running for that. Start chopping people's hands off just to punch people with other people's hands. Which wouldn't be the most effective way to kill somebody, but also doesn't need to be effective. My short answer is no. My long answer is no. Acting against the prohibition on the practice of setting a jewel into a bracelet. Say, led an army to the gates of Kagapur Spire. She freed its citizens, and in her honor, they henceforth called it Musagrad. Now I'll take the painted object, which increases its value, and then I will just figure out what the heck I can equip to these hands. Sure, why not Steel Dagger? Desert Curse, which is, I believe, is the equivalent of either steel or iron. Either or, doesn't really matter. It's a slot that I have, so let's equip it. It's I don't remember what I was actually. Oh, I was coming out here just to show off the fact that there's many ways to get infinite money. I'm just going with the method that doesn't make me want to die out of tedium. Be careful. And you are, by the way, well, you're good to kill. Though I do need to be careful because they are significantly strong. Oh, I have freezing. Correct the mundo. I just freezing ran a random snapshot. I didn't even mean to do it to them. But yes, the legendaries can have extremely high base stats, which means don't get into a straight up fight with them because they will kill you fairly quickly. Right, the reason I'm saving up points is to get something along the lines of regeneration. Gotta be careful I don't die. Hey, and it's dead. Give me a weird artifact, and hey, another thing to equip. Another battle axe. Which I will throw one of my other weapons out of the way for it. Sorry, Mason. Right, I do have a second head, which I'm gonna need to figure out, so it's not decreasing my armor. I say that, odds are I'm probably just going to find something to give me a stat boost. Which is usually how I do things. Either weapons or stat boosts. Holy shit. Gotta be careful. I just jumped down and then immediately got face to face with a shotgun snapjaw. Gave me their shotgun, I believe. Who the hell had mechanical wings? Where the hell did I find these? Broke it. Yeah, I believe that was the shotgun. Because of course, the thing I broke was the shotgun. God damn. Just how many seed spinners do you fucking need? Question is, how much room do you got? Answer is an entire dungeon, apparently. I say that as if they're everywhere. They're everywhere. Excuse me. Excuse me. The heck did I step on to get the bleed? Or maybe that was just one of the enemies. Actually, stop this eating random meals. Skulk, spine, fruit, sure, why not? Whenever you perform a critical hit, you expel quills per the quill mutation at level 8. I hope that doesn't cost them my quills. It might though, which means I'm going to be shooting a lot of my spines. Wait, whenever I crit? Oh, I guess they changed it. I used to it being about crit. Weird. I'm used to it being on based on like levels of penetration. Sorry, oh man, sitting at the Hunchback of Notre Dame or Notre Dame. I don't know pronunciations and shit like that. I don't think that costs my quills. Is that? Oh yes, this is someone asked. Oh, it's a Desert Chris. So I'm gonna get shot for that for no good reason. Oh, I am attacked. Of course, there's also a young Ivory on the tile I was standing on. Okay, Disliked by the villagers of Calep. Sure. I will solve that problem for them. So who else will? Right, did I finally have enough to a bunch of utility stuff? I of course I'm just gonna take the part. Leaf, which we've established is another hand. Correct? Body leaf. Sorry, I'm laughing because this is amazing. I've never had it where I've had so many hands before. Like the fact that I also hit multiple arms super early. Like at level 9, having all of my unstable cheat gnomes trigger. And everything except for one thing giving me arms. Or hands, I should say. That is just incredibly crazy. This member was 21. Tactics. Oh, right, I should look at dual wield. Yeah, I can currently get Flurry if I get enough intelligence, which I'm just going to bump up my intelligence once. And then by level 11, I should have it. Sleep? Yeah, sure, why not? Let's knock him prone and then beat the ever living shit out of him. Is that a flaming carbide longsword? Yeah. Yeah, sure. Equip that just honestly right here. But once I get dual wield, I'll have an increased chance to hit with my other hands. And on top of that, I'll have an increased chance, or I'll have flurry, which allows me to attack once with each of my hands at a specific enemy, which, as we've established, I have a lot of hands. I have more hands than. I was gonna say centipede has, but they don't have hands. They just have arms or legs. Well, in this game, they just have legs or arms. Sorry, I'm dumb. Mechanically, they're arms, but they also do have multiple legs. While wandering around Alapar, Chapater stumbled upon a clan of winged mammals performing a secret ritual. Because of his reputation for murdering somebody with a dagger made of stardust, they accepted him into their fold and taught him their secrets. Technically, everything's made out of stardust, actually. Actually, unless something is made out of, like, quartz, everything's stardust. Because mostly everything has been created by stars. At daybreak on the winter solstice, a babe was found swaddled in a cosp of sacred trees with a jeweled peridot in each hand. That babe came to be known as Msek. Like, we humans are technically made out of stardust, effectively speaking. You know, like where did all these like complicated, like more heavier compound, or not heavier compounds, heavier elements come from? It's stars. You know, where did the iron in our blood come from? Stars. Where did the oxygen that we breathe come from? Stars. You know, several generations of stars died to supply the world with the, you know, the matter required for us to exist. So we are literally what stars are made out of, which is elements. Yeah. Hated by birds for torching one of their villages. Yes, yes, they set fire to a nest. Jeez, just go up. He threw a plasma grenade, by the way. That was a plasma grenade. I'm coated in plasma. Where the heck am I? Oh, there I am. I was honestly just like my eyes were like tangled up together. I was he's gonna say cross-eyed. I was rendered cross-eyed. Smiling sun mask? I probably didn't necessarily need to equip it, but sure, I guess. Oh, I don't have any. I mean, I could just equip this one. But yes, I wanted to check what the heck smiling means. I don't think that's anything. Just decorative, apparently. Really hope that. Oh. Why would you stand there? I crit, so my quills went everywhere. Okay, you're dead. Who wants to be added to my pile? And you. It's like by the Putus Templar. We could potentially become allied to the Putus Templar, which is hard but not impossible. Yeah, the hulking Snapjaw King, which probably means he's fairly tanky, which means I'm gonna run away, because I'd rather not die. Oh wait, I can just sleep gas everybody. Boy. Yeah, run. Just wait. Full heal myself. Die? Well, he can't have died because otherwise I would have got a notification. Or died of like natural causes or something. Maybe he did. Maybe he just fell down the stairs. That'd be some shit. Oh. Interesting. Also, get these trees out of my way. Guess I'm okay with that. Right, this is where the other guy died. Let's take the half-decent equipment. Just so I have something to put on. Oh, what did I pick up this time? Snapshots. Of course I did. And picked up another one. Yeah, that's just because there's something else to pick up, so when I press the pickup button, it picks up whatever. That's a fucking juice sap. Oh, it's just a juice sap. Juice saps drain your batteries. The really bad saps, they drain everything. From your intelligence to your max health. Which, the only real one that permanently does damage that is unrecoverable is the HP sap, which essentially wounds you forever. But you can get over it just by, increasing your constitution a lot. Or toughness. Wait, there's no real way to fix max HP damage. So it is honestly the most detrimental of all the effects. I just crit a wall and dealt a bunch of damage to walls. Just run away. Heal up. Did he just... Someone just EMP something at random? Okay, did he just pass out again? He did too. He fucking did. Just imagine. I don't know how. I mean, I know. I like how I immediately changed my tune. Like, I know how you could end up passing out. But, like, imagine somehow having, like, let's just passing out in the middle of, like, a fist fight. Like, imagine being punched in the face. And then be like not being passed out or not getting knocked out from the pain. Or, like, your brain physically being, like, disrupted. Because just got punched. But just being like, I'm tired. I could really go for a nap right now. That's like, you're shitting me. And just like I can't even get to sleep, and I lie down in my bed and get comfortable. Like, I could lie in my without like a sleeping pill or something. Well, I mean, I guess that's okay, but like I can't even think about sleeping without, like, time and, like, drug investment. I'd have to use the phrase drug investment, but like without taking that. Is that fucking okay? No, that's just a rifle turret, which I might be able to tank. It critically hits me for 3 times penetration with a lead slug for 8 damage. That is small beans. Right. It crits me for 12 damage. Okay, that's untenable. Okay, that's, yeah, taking 19 damage and the fact that there's 2 of them. That's too much damage. They don't regenerate, I don't think, so I can just spam freezing ray at them. So silly. Best part is with meditation, I can fully heal in between bouts of peeking my face out and getting shot. I love meditation. 10 turns, I start healing 3 times as quickly, which is essentially a replacement for regeneration. Though it can end up being worse than regeneration in a lot of ways. So, some people swear by me by not taking it. Regeneration it is. Is this thing healing? I feel like it might be. I'm just dealing so little damage. You know, let's give it a bunch of turns and then look at it. Huh, oh, the turret does have regeneration, which is kind of bullshit considering it's a robot. What the hell is healing it? I can just dig around it. Let's do that. Oh, right, I have Burrowing Claws. That's why I'm doing so much damage to these walls. It's like, huh, I feel like I'm going, like, even with the fact that these are, like, really weak walls, I still feel like I'm doing so much to them. Yeah, they only have, like, 100 HP, but that is not a problem. Speaking of problems... Oh, I'm fucking dead if I get shot again. Oh, I'm so lucky. You heal faster than I do. There we go. God damn you. What do these things have to do with Snapjaws? Yeah, I'm just leaving. I don't wanna win it dead, but also sorry, I saw one of those is blue. Oh yeah, it's because I have two menus overlaid on top of each other. No, I want to move the menu over here. I was like, I feel like I'm seeing things on top of things. It's like, oh right, yeah. Whoops. Can't figure out how to get out from here. Sure. There we go. Alright, I actually do the thing I wanted to do. Desalination pellets. Right, why in the world did I just let myself equip it randomly? Let's take this out of my right hand and just throw it into the water. I like to throw it just because it minimizes the odds that I step into the water by accident. Yeah, see, 300 or so drams of fresh water, and I collect most of them. And then I dirty the water, which is fine. But yes, a whole lot of water. So yeah, I look how I made that point like half an hour ago, and then I went to that dungeon. This is the way this game is. Joppa, aside from Red Rock, God, don't need to go there anymore. Right, let's just go back to the stilt so I can get some more experience. This might not be the most effective way to do this. Also, I think the merchants are probably restocked by now. Let's check this guy. Yeah, he's definitely restocked. See, it's a bunch of engraved bottles that I didn't have before. On the anniversary of a great battle in Fioramrad, a healthy child was born to the Sultan of Merkukesh. At the moment of her birth, a sublime ruby was discovered. In celebration, the people cried out in joy. The babe was named Yithrapater, but the people called her Rubyborn. That's a pretty cool name. But yeah, see, 60 drams. So essentially, each of these is around 250 to 300 drams. Assuming I find, assuming I just go to a place that has salt water. So it's effectively infinite money. I like to keep a handful of them in my inventory just in case I need water in like a random place. Yeah, so there's no, it's not really abusing game mechanics to just take the merchant's inventory because you could go through the motions of getting infinite water. But like, why would you do that and just waste your time when you can just like just take it instead? In 1854 BR, after murdering a popular rival with a dagger made of time itself, Sultan of Cud abdicated the throne because of Ithrix's reputation for water fasting. She was chosen as the successor, and that's only in terms of like trying to beat the game. Like obviously, if I wasn't trying to beat the game, I wouldn't go through the motion of like abusing mechanics in the game because all I'm trying to do is get up to the point where I can do the thing that I want to do. But in this case, the thing that I want to do is beat the game, which is a lot more difficult than say just like exploring the game. Like if I just wanted to get to the point where I could explore a certain area, that's not that hard. I just level up. I don't need to like, get like thousands of drams of water worth of equipment. And like I could just let that naturally accumulate as I just like screw around if I was just like, you know, casually playing the game. But it really depends. Yes. After murdering a popular rival with a dagger made of time itself, the Sultan of Cud abdicated the throne. Because of Ythrix's reputation for water fasting, she was chosen as the successor. Don't know if I already read that, but I just want to do it again just in case, because my brain is fried. Instead of talking too much. Well, I say too much. I'm just not used to talking. Deep in Alipar, Ythrpater discovered Sarsipa spire that she befriended antelopes and set a glittering amethyst into a newly forged amulet. I've already read that. In 4457 BR, Masay won a decisive victory against the combined forces of Khazor at the bloody Battle of Tud. As a result of the battle, Tud was so bristling with carnivorous. Sorry, I'm just laughing because it's just the idea of like carnivorous. So, flesh-eating geodes that it was renamed Jeweled Wreck. Flesh-eating, flesh-eating rocks. How? Literally how? What do you mean? What do you mean they eat things? What do you mean? What do you mean the rocks eat? Oh, neutron flux! I can't risk that. Speaking of which, can I make attempts to sway? No, not really. Well, yeah, neutron flux. For those who don't know, it's essentially something that you can cook into your food, and if you don't die, you get a permanent boost to your armor value. You will usually die. Well, I say usually die. There's a 1 in 10 chance you die, which if you have a method of save scumming, whether just like Alt F4 in the game, which is completely up to you, or using God, I forget the name of it. Precognition. Either or, you can reroll it. It's not that difficult. Just I would never recommend using it outside of those conditions because instant death is a pretty large setback. You don't want to be dying. Dying sucks. Don't die. uh, sorry, I'm just a little laughing because it's like no shit. It's like, really? I didn't know that. What do you mean I'm not supposed to die? Not supposed to. Sorry, something about the phrase "not supposed to die" made me laugh. But it's just, a 1 in 10 chance of instantly losing all progress with a 90% chance is that you get a permanent boost. It's it's not worth it on any other character than somebody who can abuse it. Or if you're willing to just alt F4, which, again, I wouldn't blame you for this game if you did that. But at that point, like, you should just play in like the casual modes that don't have permadeath. Or just take precognition. Like, if you wanted to be on permadeath mode and have that sort of effect, you could just, oh, there's 2 of you. There's, I think the jewelers have a lower wisdom than the bookbinders, though. Of course, it's still going to take a lot of effort. But yes, now I can take the inventories of both these guys and the shoot crab, if the shoot crab had an inventory, and then just tell them, I no longer need your services. Yep, dismiss. And yeah, I now have a Gritgate Recoiler and a Arc Winder that's also bejeweled, which increases its value by like a percentage, I think. And a bunch of gemstones, which means I'm effectively rich. Sorry. Words escape. Words escape my brain fruits. But I no longer have to worry about the fact that I can proselytize that one guy means I never have to worry about buying anything, or I never have to worry about affording anything ever. Okay, wait a second. The gem cutter. What the hell just happened? Why did I? Oh, it's because the guy's screen changed. Basically, there's a chance that if somebody with a pack of creatures leaves the map, there's a chance that that pack of creatures defaults on their loyalty or their faction. So I think that Gershling defaulted to being a Gershling instead of being a hired guard for the merchant, which resulted in me killing it when I just started walking into it. Oh yes, this gem cutter. It's only easy, not trivial. I believe these only come into effect if you're holding thing or these things. So if I say had this Crypt Fair figurine, what? It is nice to know. See, this segmented Mirthworm defaulted to being a segmented Mirthworm. You got to be very careful because it's not that they might kill you, because they might. It's that everything else in the still, if it's like a melee character running up to you, they will potentially friendly. Something friendly about getting shot by a rocket launcher. But yeah, say the segmented Mirthworm takes 24 damage from the bloody wave form worm just walking through or just dashing through them. And they could dash over you and result in you dying. I'm level 10. But yes, very afraid of the Stilt, because the Stilt can and will kill you. Not because it's necessarily designed to be that way, just well, any of the towns. Kakukia is also like this now. So be afraid, be careful, because losing all of your progress to freaking resonance mine layer or just anything, or say a clone. Oh my god! If you've never seen a cloneling in a town before, just spawning like clones of people who then turn hostile to you for no other reason than because the default is to be hostile to you, though their original character type. Okay, that actually scared me because I didn't know if these are tinkerers or mine layers. Yeah, gotta be careful. You're also, yeah, the light tinkerer, which I believe is. Yeah, you can also, if you see these tinkerers, they can sell you batteries or the turrets themselves. If they're friendly, you can buy bullets from a gun, and depending on the form of bullet they use, can potentially be very powerful. Ibn Alapar Ythropator discovered Sosippus Spire. Oh, I've already read that. After striking a deal with grazing hedonists, Masay convinced them to help her found a workshop in Kazor. The purpose of glass blowing paradox, they named it the Worship of Lustrious. I've already read that as well. Damn. Well, yeah, I already have the source of infinite money, so I don't need to go around killing these merchants. So, how's your wisdom, buddy? How's your willpower? I should say. God, I play too much D&D. I mean, so many games call it wisdom as well, so I guess I could blame it for that. Okay, yours is not as bad. As yours. Sorry, I was gonna sneeze and then I decided not to sneeze. Sun-dried banana. Actually, the sun-dried banana is super useful. So it will give. What's it called? Psychometry, which allows you to identify things a lot easier. Not everything can be easy to identify. It depends on your ego, but it can make it 10 to 100 times easier, depending on whether or not you actually have the requirements. And if you have the requirements, oh my, it's just free identification and free schematics, which is where the 100 times. Oh, sorry, I just just sorry, just ejaculated. I was like, how do I say this without potentially getting Twitch mad at me? And I was like, ah, fuck it. But yeah, Drop of Nectar. Again, people don't recognize how rare this is. I played the game. I say rare. I mean, it's hard to get one. But once you get one, you essentially have infinite. But I don't like cloning drops of nectar. I'll get a drop of nectar some time else or some other time. Let's see. Yeah, nothing happened. There's a like again like 1 in 6, 1 in 10, 1 in 6, 1 in 10 chance of getting a +1 to everything. And the best part is the downside is that you wasted a very rare item rather than neutron fluxes. You die. You just die. Not not pass go, do not collect $200, you just die. Okay, so I can recruit bookbinders, yes. Annals of Cud, it's nothing special, but something that even experienced players may not know is that if you use the Annals of Cud on a faction you've never met before, it will tell you where they live. Because somehow you retroactively went there? Like, say, to village, or the village of Thermashan. I don't believe I've been there. But now I have. I have been there. I added the following entry into the Annals of Cut. On the 24th of Kasu Ux, Alvin became admired by the villagers of Tumdashan for faithfully adapting Riddler plays. I've increased their reputation with me. My reputation with them by 215. I now know where they are because retroactively I was there. Somehow. How that works? No idea. Don't ask me how Schrodinger's pages work. What do you think I am? A scientist? It's I, I think it's physics based. Like Schrodinger's cat is physics based. Oh, I sold a bunch of my stuff to you to get stuff from you. Have some of that back, please. Please. Yeah, but please, sir. Sir, I know you're not as high a stat as the other, or you're about the same stats as the other guy. Yeah, give me all those. Give me my money back. This is mostly what I wanted. Goodbye. Imagine being so sexy that you can just ask people for everything they have and just leave with it. Oh, Ray Cats are fighting people. Yeah, that'll happen. The earthworm is not impressed by my pleas. Please. Yeah, but please though. Okay, I don't actually need to talk to that guy at all. I did just remember that I do want neutron flux or something, so I am going to. That was easy. Also, food is. Let's say free. It's weightless. Most food items are weightless. Um, some food items aren't weightless, but most food items are. Base. I need a single gem of neutron flux. I need 2 gems of neutron flux for one thing, and like 60,000 drams worth of shit. Which is why I grind by robbing merchants in this game, rather than doing an even slower version of it. Because I swear to God, I will die of old age. I will die of old age if I have to go through that every single time I play this game, rather than just like cheating the money into my wallet. Why did I say wallet? Wallet. But yes. Schematics drafter, you do have quite valuable inventory, so I will take everything. They're 1 weight each, the schematics themselves, so it's not the best, it's not the worst. You're disliked by a lot of people, but I also can't kill you. I can't reap what you have sown, unfortunately. Because if you upset the Warden faction, you will have to deal with a lot of powerful ones. Why did I whisper? But when I say a lot of powerful Wardens, I mean there's Salt Krakens in the Warden faction, which isn't something I'm willing to deal with. Give me all that experience. Perfection. Maybe mutation. Multiple legs. 20 movement speed and 6 carrying capacity. Sensory ganglion on my head, which means another face for me. 500 experience points. Not experience points, you. Moron. Skill points, which means flurry. 60 cooldown by default. Make a attack with every hand, including extra hands. Granted by mutation. So yeah, a lot of attacks. And It includes non hand-based weapons, like say my Stinger will attack as well. It's essentially attack with everything that you could physically attack with. Attack with every weapon, which is a lot. I have technically a lot of weapons. Let's just take Cudgel for no other reason than some of my hands. If I accidentally leave a hand empty, it'll be better to, use just some random, like, let's say, like, fist that actually has, like, some skill put into it. It'll make it so I can actually hit with it. But yes, now I have how many faces? I have 3 faces, 2 heads, and I have another both on the way when I get my quote unquote second head, which I already technically have a second head, but I mean like the actual perk. Let's fix. I say fix. Let's increase my reputation with you guys. I'm now favored by them, so I should never have to worry about them attacking me ever again. Even the ones that are always hostile won't attack me. The only thing I've left to do is increase it to loved, which will make it so they will treat me as one of their own. Which essentially means like if somebody like I think dogs are the easiest to get that sort of reputation with. Essentially, if you have that with any faction, they will immediately defend you if you're ever attacked. Like the entire faction will protect you, which is just amazing. Okay, let's run after this gem cutter. Is there lore on these walls? There is. This is an exquisitely detailed, high relief cut from precious Julian marble. Depicts the sacred joining, as recounted by Shekinah, the father to the temple high priest. In the early dawn of the universe, the Argent Fathers roamed the timeless aether with inert hearts. There, in the coldest distance of space, they discovered beauty and chrome incarnate, the Capsaicins. Together, they wrought machines from her naked womb to inhabit 100 Earths. In the scene here, the fathers first approach her radiance. They are led by Shekinah, who occupies a position of prominence. Is there more lore here? Oh, I didn't even realize there was lore on these walls. I think that's just these two. Marble relief of the edification. There is a high relief cut with exquisite detail from rare cerulean marble. Details the edification. As chanted in the Canticles Chromaic. After the sacred joining, the Argent Fathers molded the plasmatic metal of the Capsaicins into edifices fit for inhabitants by mortal folk. They wrought spires onto mountains and arches over rivers. Here, Shekinah oversees the construction, gazing east upon his new gleaming world. Ah, yes. Oh. So what you're telling me is, and I mean, I could have put 2 and 2 together. I should have been able to put 2 and 2 together already. That the Mechanimists are responsible for the Chrome Pyramids. Which makes sense. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised by that, but I just now put it together somehow. It's not that it surprises me that I figured it out now full times. It's just that I didn't already figure that out before. Or maybe I've already mentioned it before, but it's like, damn. It's your clown's fault that I keep dying. I say keep dying as if I've died to... I think I've died to Ivory, young Ivories more than... or Pyramids. Alrighty then. Right, I still need a lot of money. Some people look at this and be like, man, this is more. His inventory is worth more than I've ever seen in the game before. And I'm just like, oh god. Yeah. About 3,000 drams. Oh, yeah. I believe you can proselytize robots. I know you can proselytize robots when I'm saying. Oh, you're still average. I need them to be trivial to me. That is definitely my main concern right now. And the only reason for that is just so I can buy one item. And no other reason. No other reason at all. Right, what the heck is this? Rush War. Wars. I believe this is like the place I fought the Thirst Thistles. Oh, this is just. Oh, this is a place where I was lost earlier. Some ruins. Oh, I'm surrounded by snapshots. Now all I need to do is find like a gun or something, and then I am good to go. It's like any decent gun will do, honestly. Preferably one that uses bullets, honestly. That would be my main caveat. Is that I would like there to be bullets. There we go, get rid of that mine layer before it blows into Kingdom Come. So it's just like a sleep grenade by the looks of it. Or is this a sleep grenade layer, which... Grenade layer? Mine layer. But that's still a pain in the ass. The Radiant Dirk of Mishapar Spring. See what I mean? You can find stuff like this in certain characters' inventories. Yeah, it's worth 1,500. Hell no, I'm not buying that off you, you weird man. I'm just gonna take it. We're in the middle of nowhere, my friend. So imagine if I did that in real life. It's like, what do you mean you want me to buy this off you? But yeah, that could be my... Okay, it can't be my main weapon, because I need my main weapon. But it can be... one of my side weapons. Oh my god. It's really weak. But to be fair, it's just a random item. It's not even... It's not even from a relic site. This is just from an unnamed ruins. Small chance to transmute an enemy into a gemstone on hit. Oh. That's just... That's an instant death effect, by the way. For those of you who don't know. Which... God, that is so powerful. That is like... The only problem is because it's not in my main hand, it is gonna rarely take effect. It was rarely gonna take effect anyways, but like in a long, like prolonged fight, that's easily going to proc eventually. All it needs to do is hit. It doesn't need to. Doesn't it say like it doesn't even need to do damage? Well, it doesn't straight up say it yet. On hit, it doesn't have to deal damage. It just has to connect. Yeah, we're level 13. We should be able to comfortably deal with a... Stuck. Yeah, water-vine farmers and member of Ithrixian clan. Yeah, sure. I was about to say, please don't be part of the faction Ecomax. It's just farmers and slugs are worms of the earth, which are clearly using slug sprites, so I wouldn't exactly call them worms. I mean, it doesn't matter either way. They'll die all the same. One starry evening in the Barracks Republic of Mick. A healthy child was born to the Sultan of Tarkipa. At the moment of his birth, a famous stargazer completed her work on a legendary mote of light. In its celebration, the people drank themselves into stupors. The babe was named Japater, but the people called him the Venerable Mote of Light. Take that. Find. I say that as if the corpse is gonna consent. I'll take that out of context. I say that as if the corpse is gonna consent. What a cursed thing to say. As she rode around granary democracy of Toruk, Bethrix's lost control of her chariot and drove it off a cliff. She was killed at 29 years old. Extremely young. I say that as if there wasn't a time in the world where living to be 25 wasn't essentially miraculous. I mean, hell. I always I say here's the. I mean, there was definitely a time in life where like people would have like 8 kids, not because they needed 8 children, but because that was like 1 in 8 kids actually survived to adulthood. And it was like if it was also an extreme gamble because like it's like yeah you could potentially have all of the kids die, but there's also like a realm of possibility where you end up with like 8 kids and you're just like oh god how do I feed how do I feed all of you, which is a funny thing that happens in real life where people don't realize that you're not supposed to just print babies. It's like, what the fuck's a condom? And, just wind up in a situation where you just have like so many children. It's just like there's more children to feed than adults to feed them. Which what you gonna do? It's not like you can just be like, oh, let's get rid of a few, which is something you used to be able to do with great ease. You're just like, we have 8 healthy children. We might want to just in the middle of the night get rid of a few. God. If only it was that easy. God. Sorry. That's just absolute gallows humor on my part. Now I don't want to name the boots. Yeah, I want to keep what I call diving the mutation pool for regeneration, and then get regeneration up to 5. And then I'll start leveling up some of these, but the only reason I do this is just because dealing with the diseases in this game is just such a pain. It's like once you cure something once, having to ever cure it again is like just a world of tedium. It's like yes, I know how to cure fungal infections. I don't need to ever be infected with fungus again. I would be more than comfortable with that mechanic no longer existing for me. Which again, that's the best part of this game is that you can really take the parts out of the game that you don't like. Like you can take the lethality out of the game by taking precognition. You can take the diseases out of the game by taking regeneration. You can basically remove 90% of the game by just like it's like, oh, I don't like the combat. Then you just make a build where you never interact with anything. You just clairvoyance the map and just like throw um the geometric disc, I think it's called. While wandering around Pawn City state of Shash, Masei discovered Tia Zopa. There she befriended apes and dug into the earth strata. Like, yeah, like you don't ever have to touch the main story. Like you can just choose not to. Like, yeah, there's benefits from completing the main story, but that also requires you to be strong enough to beat the main story. And it's like, if you can already do that, you don't need the benefits of it. Yeah, it's like, oh yes, the legendary benefits of being able to have two floating nearby slots. You know, for like your first metamorphic polygel potentially. Like a free metamorphic polygel, but also at the point that you could beat the game, you probably already used like several dozen metamorphic polygels. You probably have a surplus by the time you get that. So we're to be explored. You are a liar and a fool. There's clearly more somewhere, or not. Also, this is very dangerous. There are many reasons you don't want to be doing this. But also, I'm no coward. At least not when it comes to this game. Not anymore. Why say that? If I had like a good run, I wouldn't be screwing around like that. Why say that? As if I say that as if I haven't gotten myself killed in the dumbest ways possible in recent memory. But yeah. I'm trying to think of what other ways can you remove. I mean, you can again with regeneration, you can remove like the dismemberment mechanic. With clairvoyance, you can remove like the line of sight mechanic. You just get it strong. Is this a? It is. Oh my god. Oh hell yeah. Oh yes. Oh what? Okay, that's not good. Okay, so how many levels of tinkering do I need for recharge? Hair. Okay, so I need tinkering ones. So I need 200 skill points. Okay, so this is a gate. Water ribbons climb bone blanched marble columns in high relief. They mount the archivolt and snake between helical rings before a sharp turn down upward on the keystone. Here becomes there. You walk into this, and what happens is that you teleport, and you're like, oh, how do you like where do you teleport to? This is essentially a space-time um, what is it called? Uh, Oh, Space Time Vortexes. That's the name. That's what it's called. I was like wormholes. No, that's not the name of the game gives them. But Space Time Vortexes. This is essentially that, except it teleports you to several fixed locations, one after the other. So I go through this, and it teleports me, say, like 10 strata down, 10 more strata down. So I end up 13 strata deep, which is highly dangerous at my current level. So that happens, and then I'm like, okay, well, where do I? I can't go up 13 strata. That's suicidal. So I take the next best route, which I use. I look at the gate again that I'm now standing next to, power it up. Where does it send me? Somewhere on the surface, middle of nowhere. And then I go to the main map, and I'm like, I'm in the middle of the Rainbow Wood. I don't want to be here. I'd rather be 30 strata deep. Lo and behold, the gate that I'm spawned next to does exactly that, and then I go there. And then you do that like one or two more times, then you end back here. And yeah, it's pretty fun. It's not something a level 14 character should be playing with. Last time I did that this early in the game, I nearly got myself killed. And by nearly got myself killed, I meant like I literally went as fast as I could through the gates and somehow managed to survive. Or I died. One of the two. I can't remember. I've played this game so much that I can't remember everything that's ever happened. But yeah, definitely an experience that you should wait until you're ready for. And in this game, you're never ready for anything. Literally. You are as bad as ready for going through one of these portals as you are to beat the game, honestly. And that's regardless of how much prep you do. Okay, well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a second. Give me a second. Just, you wait. Okay, assuming we don't die in this tower to these Murtha worms. Okay, you take the extra dimensional woven tunic. What? The simple tunic is woven of stiff plant fiber. It's surprisingly comfortable. Plus one ego. Extra dimensional. This item recently materialized in this dimension, having inherited some some properties from its home dimension at the Colossal Taurus. Unfortunately, we can't wear this, but even though it's still only a plus one ego item. Yes. There exists a dimension known as the Colossal Taurus. God, I love the extra dimensional items in this game, which is the reason that I'm going to be getting a very specific item. Which is gonna be extremely cursed to have on a Chimera, but also it's gonna be fun. So who cares? But yeah, they reverted a change to the item that I'm referring to. That I won't spoil until I actually go to get it. But they made it so the increased chance that it provides works on like a what's the phrase? I want to attempt to recruit this character, by the way. Though they would be beneficial to murder for the reputation change. But yeah, they made it so it what's the word? So it stacks like multiplicatively. So rather than like the chance increasing by like 5% and then from 5% to 10% because you have two of them. It basically scales off of itself. So if you have 6 of them, it's increasing it to like 100% chance, which is insanity. Like absolute, like batshit crazy. But yes, unfortunately, I don't think this character really has anything interesting. I can't dominate them, so I can't actually spend any of their points, but they're. I mean, they can equip stuff. Kiss my ass, game. If it was that important, I wouldn't be trying to give it to somebody else. You know, they're wearing it. The boundless edge of Mabamra. What does it do? Strength bonus capped 5. Pretty good. Grants you Temporal Fugue at level 1. If you already have Temporal Fugue, its level is increased by 1. Ceremonial Bell Iron, shaped to a bell's edge. Blade's Edge. It's stamped with fanciful depictions of miniature clocks. Hell yeah. So let's take this Iron Mace and just throw it into the trash. But yes, now we have Temporal Fugue, which summons a copy of me. Which means I can end up getting myself killed very easily, but also it's 2 of me. Oh, it's so good. Sorry, I'm just gushing. Like, okay, I have a weapon that has a percentage chance to insta kill, or a small percent chance to insta kill. I have a weapon that summons a second copy of me and allows me to scale. Any mental mutation you gain from from an item or from any effect, unless it says otherwise, any mental mutation you get can scale with your Eureka. So next time I get +1 ego, this is going to be Temporal Fugue 3. And it's just going to keep going up and up and up as my ego grows. And eventually, my Chimera, whose main thing is you can only manifest physical mutations, is now got one of the strongest non-utility, because of course the utility mental mutations are insanity. They're just one of the best and most expensive mental mutations by far. Because what's stronger than having one of you is having multiple of you with the exact same inventory that the copies don't use your inventory. I mentioned this before, but if I told them to, take my gun and shoot like a dozen enemies, like shoot them until they're dead, it wouldn't cost me a single bullet out of my gun. Like, they could potentially take like the 165 bullets I have, shoot them all, and then just disappear. I still have the bullets. I can summon them again eventually. It's just amazing. Yes, books. Here, take my books. I love literature. Especially love when literature causes one of my characters to level up like a dozen times. Yes, you can take this time dilation grenade. Don't need this falling grenade, don't need these spring-loaded sandals. Not all of them, you you crazy man. I need some of those things. I'll have to keep at least one coiler just in case I get sent down at the bottom of the no man's land. That is the underground. Issue with the Templar. Right, I forgot about you. Please don't kill the NPC. Gotta be very careful. Are you okay? There's a chance that this guy over here is just gonna shoot the shit out of me. Once he stops being in his own force field. Oh god, that force field lasts so long. You okay? Yeah, you're fine. You're not mad at me, are you? No, you're just mad at this guy. Right, let's fury him. Just look how many times my character slams into him. That's very tanky because I leveled him up and he probably has like an insane amount of base stats. Yeah, I gained 12 experience for killing him. He wasn't worth much. And now I'm stuck in this. Whoops. It's fine. Luckily I didn't water ritual with him, otherwise this would have been real bad. Oh yeah, I picked up my tunic again. What the fuck just happened? What? What did I just see happen? Why are you two fighting each other? What happened over here? What? What the fuck is this? Who dropped this? Who dropped this actual gun? What the fuck is going on? They have borne the weight of this earth and 1,000 others. What the fuck are you two doing here? Oh, they're just killing each other. What the fuck is going on? Okay, let's just leave the map and like wait. Let's just not go to that part of the map for a little while. Oh god, this game. Just absolutely random shit happening for no good reason. No good reason that I can understand, at least. Stick all that. I'll even take the file. Why not? Yeah, the only reason I left is because I saw the librarian start moving around, and I was like, "Oh god, I don't want you to die." Their aggro will probably reset. I don't know how we got a carbine out of the deal, but I'll fucking take it. I don't care. I'm swearing so much. I'm just excited. I don't mind these actual guns. Silly turrets. Don't mind me. I'm just wandering man trying to buy his way to happy. Buy his way to happiness? The hell is? Why was that my default thing I was saying? I believe miscellaneous. Yeah. Fish. Yeah, sure. The fish chapter. On the 8th of Ulu Ut, Calm became admired by fish for making them feel welcome at a supper feast. Yeah, sure. I don't care. I just get mad poles to love me. I wouldn't be bothered by this idea. Madpoles are one of the most dangerous creatures in the game because they will rip you to dang shreds. Or yeah, the other guy I already stole from. I was just making sure there wasn't two of them, so I was a bit confused. He's just moving between the two screens, which is what caused the confusion in the first place. The others. Nobody too useful here. Beard a little, don't mind me. Chef, or which I'm already standing right next to. It's two of the exact same sprite. It's like no wonder I'm confused. Gunsmith. Said gunsmith. Bullets. Can you tell me what this is? Of course. They don't know what they're selling. Like, they don't need to identify it. They should know what they're fucking holding in their hands. And it's just like, oh yeah, this is worth a lot of money. It's like, yes, but how so? How is it worth anything? You don't even know what it is, Mega Man. It's probably more so that they wouldn't know how to explain it, which makes sense. It's like, yeah, they could explain like, oh yeah, it's a gun. I'm a gunsmith. It's some kind of gun. It's hard to explain. I wouldn't know how to tell you how to use it. Just pull the trigger. That's about it. And that, wouldn't really help you because it's like, yeah, what's it's just like the dude would have to point the trigger at you, and it would still be like some alien concept until you like figure it out on your own. Like that would make sense, but it's still like, what the shit? It's like my man can't even explain a gun to me. But again, it makes enough sense. It makes enough sense that I won't complain about it. Well, I mean, I'll complain about it. Won't actually be bothered by it at all. This gut merchant might be too highly stated for me to have a chance. Well, I say have a chance. I mean, there's a chance. It's just not high enough that I want to spend the rest of my mortal life on it. Battle of Marrakesh. Usurpator fought as a mercenary to subjugate beetles. She wielded a jeweled dagger with such finesse that it became forever known as Jeweled Beetle's Woe. Which probably means it has a chance to kill beetles. That's usually what that means. Which, considering beetles blow up when you kill them, it's not exactly the most useful thing, considering they blow up and insta-kill. It's like, yeah, sure, okay, I can insta-kill something and then be instantly killed in return. Exactly what I want. Okay, I know for a fact I can do this because I've done it before. And once I get like the money I need to like get what I want, I will no longer need to. I will no longer feel the need to constantly do this. That's a matter of principle. For now, anyways. Don't really do this Pine Reaper. So there's some of this random stuff down the well. And also we'll level up from the library. I really hope those two aren't fighting anymore. Okay, they aren't. Don't feel comfortable that you're standing next to that guy, but there's not much I can do about it. Oh, whoops. I need to tab and then do it. Genome, excited state. Let's give my claws a nice hit. I don't want to name my axe. Thank you kindly, but no. Wings. Grow a body part and you can fly. A hand grows out of one of my arms. Nice. Alright, so Tinker. Level 1, I can recharge. Perfect. And disassemble. There we go, that's some inventory management ability. Greatly desired. And I can also manage my inventory by learning how to create some random stuff. I don't actually want to learn how to make half this stuff. I only want to learn how to make things I actually intend to make ever. Like, you know, maybe self-injectors. Spear of Negative. Oh my god. That is so lucky to get a data disk for that. You have no idea. I'm gonna be honest, you have no idea how much I rely on those in the late game. Like, just the absolute state of my inventory in the late game. There is one area in the late game where you're punished for having anything like that, but it could be worse, honestly. What is it? Did I not? Oh, I didn't actually. I'll do it now. Did not actually steal from my good man, the Guts Merchant. Who should now be quite trivial to me. There you go. Trivial enough to do that. Oh, right, don't actually follow me. I don't care about you. Right, let's identify these things, and anything I don't want to take with me, I just throw it in. Well, because, I mean, all I'm using these for is, like, money, essentially. I believe I can throw down broken stuff. It's Visage. You know, let's just get rid of all of it. Oh, don't select. I hate that. Some problem. I wish the select all button wasn't available for this screen, because, like, I mean, it makes sense considering, like, you could always, like, manage your inventory or just drop anything you don't want to give. But, like, also, like, what the hell? Alrighty then. Do I have your quest yet? I don't. Is there a reason I haven't auto ritual with you? Yes, there is. Because I like the Daughters of Exile. Okay, attribute point. What do I need? What do I want? Good questions, all. Agility. Toughness, intelligence. Strength? Strength. Strength so I can get this member next time I get a +1 to everything. Shouldn't be too far from now. Go to Toruk. I was gonna say, unfortunately, I don't have a good reputation with worms, but it's not the worms that are the problem. It's the fact that they're part of a cult. Of course, it's gonna make them hate me. Also, I'm gonna have so much worm meat in my inventory. It's not gonna be fun for a minute, or it's not gonna be fun in a minute. Oh, hey, Gershworm, you're just a regular Gershworm. Yeah, you are. You're dangerous, though. I should be wary of you. Why are you releasing poison? I don't understand. You know what? Temporal Fugue, you go shoot some stuff. You go deal with my problems for me. I shot my clone. It doesn't matter, he'll be fine. He'll get over it. He'll get over it once he leaves and I resummon him. I forgive myself. See what I mean? You don't have to do anything. I'm not even the one who gets shot in the back this time. It's honestly my favorite part. How many bullets do I have? Yeah, I have enough to just be shooting whatever and whenever I want. Gonna be something other than worms in this? In this weird hellhole? On the surface, I guess. Fortunately, these guys are no longer worth much of any experience to me. There was also a reason for me to take intelligence, but it'll be fine. What is my intelligence right now? Oh, it's already. Yeah, it's already at 21. Okay, I don't need any more. Just had to make sure the actual stat requirement for that one thing was. So. Did not make myself have to be a moron, which. I don't really have changed anything. What time is it? Yeah, it's 1-ish. I'll clear out this dungeon. And then I'll call it for the night. Oh god. Pangs of pain ring through my memory. Sorry, my head. Pangs of pain run through my head. Okay. Oh, this is for Chef. Okay. That probably registered to me, and then I completely forgot. What the heck? Oh, it's just for graffiti. They had a few books, but they had. They had a few books, but they had worked. They had worked with as well as the Desert Knight. Something along those lines. Oh, that's a slumberling. I should be moderately careful. I say knowing full well that I have a clone that should be able to handle this. I can literally test to see how well I do in a fight. 100 experience. Not 100 experience. I have 100 HP at level 17. That's not bad. Of course, courtesy to the fact that I have 22 toughness, which. Dealing with a slumberling, you at least want. Yeah, you at least want like around 100 HP. Regardless of the method you use to kill it, because it's about it's around enough to be able to survive one volley of its attacks, which if you're at range you need to survive one on occasion. If you're melee, you need to be able to survive that every turn or so. Don't cook with the neutron flux despite the temptation. You know, let's cook with psychometry just so I can learn how to make bullets. Let's go around and look what else I can make. Don't want any of those. Alright, can't make any of those. Okay, that's fine. Oldworm skull, sure, why not? There's no. Oh, it's on the other side of the statue. Fortunately, I can just go through walls. Also, what the Burn Claws may not tell you is it's not just the attacks with your main claws that do bonus damage. It's everything. Every attack you do has a bonus chance to pierce. Or, I should say, a bonus, deals bonus damage to walls. So, like, I could use my basic appendages to punch walls. May not seem like much, but when you realize how much shit you're gonna have to put up with, oh god, there is me potentially who's potentially going to kill me if I'm not careful. Please stop being confused. I need to get out of my own way. Yeah, the reason there's so many Mirthworms and by extension worms of the earth, earthworms, is purely due to the fact that they spawn copies of themselves. And that's it for every one. Every one of them will spawn copies of themselves that spawn naturally. And each copy that they spawn can spawn a handful more, depending on how, basically how deep or how many generations from the first they get. So, like, the first one can summon like 3 copies of itself, and each of those 3 copies can summon, 2 copies of themselves, and each copy of those can summon 1 copy, which ends up just you end up with just a conveyor belt of earthworms, and they'll stop at a certain point just so the game doesn't crash. At like 17 Mirthworms on top of the Mirthworms that originally existed. So if there's 17 Mirthworms, effectively, they'll only be able to spawn 1 copy, and then they'll stop. And then there'll be, one more Mirthworm, and then you kill that one Mirthworm, and then one of the Mirthworms will decide to spawn another. But, then you get to the last Mirthworm, and then that Mirthworm will summon 3 Mirthworms, and then those 3 Mirthworms will summon another 2 each, and then those will summon 1 more until you get to the cap, and it's just like, jeez, fuck off. Oh, so chef, which means more experience for me. But yeah. It's not the most heinous this game gets with spawning infinite enemies. It gets worse. God. Cries and shoot crab or just any sort of vent. Is that infinite cider? Also, yeah, these things are stronger than I think. I had to put Fura in a button. Probably already did. It's probably just that something else is also on the same button. Please go away. Oh, god damn it. I said go away. Where are you coming from? Like, actually, though, where are you coming from? Well, I mean, they're coming from another Mirthworm, clearly, but... I say another Mirthworm as if there isn't, like, 5 Mirthworms in the works. God. Please. Oh god, there's more. Yeah, there are certain enemies that can spawn infinite enemies. Like the snail mothers. God, that's such a pain in the ass. What is these strange tubes? Of course it is. But yeah. Gotta love conveyor belt enemies. It's like, oh, are there less than 30 enemies on the screen? Well, how about I increase the quantity to the aforementioned amount? Why did I talk like that? I don't know. Of course, I have it, I guess. Yeah, see, this is probably from like one Mirthworm. Spawns like 10 copies in aggregate of itself. Let's pick up the cider just because I can. Spiced blood. Cider. I'm somehow not overburdened yet. Well, it's probably because of the sheer quantity of worm meat I preserved. Because worm meat, unpreserved foods have weight, so just raw meat has weight, but once you store it, or you put it to a more easily carried. Once you preserve it, it loses all weight. A conservation of Masked Damned. It ceases having weight somehow. How's my ammo situation doing? I'll probably need to fabricate more ammo soon. Okay, how many Ds do I have? Enough for 150 ammo. 130, that doesn't, that I don't know how that math checks out in my brain. Oh, yeah. Oh my god. I just realized that I have two different enemies that spawn more of themselves. Please go away. Oh, of course. That's a really good... The fact that they're coming from two different directions... Oh, no, there's two different types. The fact that they're coming from two different directions means it's probably two different Mirthworms that are spawning copies of themselves. God fucking damn it, man. I can't move towards it. Silly game. There it is. Some fresh food. Fucking damn it. Stop. I want to be able to move. Ooh, smooth topaz. Nice. A boatload of cider. Grenades. Yeah, sure. Walk over here. Food. More. And more meat. Oh my god, there's still more Mirthworms. God, you're shitting me. Don't need zombies when you just have like unending hordes of worms. Shrines of a Chef. The Shrine of a Chef. Ooh, two different Shrines of a Chef. Sure, let's equip that backpack because it will increase my carrying capacity. Ooh. 2688 PR. Japader won a decisive victory against the combined forces of Zor at the bloody battle of Old Ham Ripa. As a result of the battle, Old Ham Ripa was so devastated by smoldering stardust that it was renamed Shining Flats. Cool. My horse is beginning to become voice. My throat is beginning to become hoarse. That's what I meant to say before, gibberish began to form in my throat. God, I hate the worms that spawn terrain. They're just such a pain in the ass. They're more of a pain if you don't have a way to deal with it, but fortunately I do. Which is Burrowing Claws. Which makes it so I can just, you know, get rid of all this shit. Yeah, you can literally see it on the mini-map, or I say mini-map. You can see it on the screen where they're just adding more terrain. God, fucking damn it. Stop. I'm serious. Fuck off. God damn it. Yeah, rusty liminal floor. Oh, no temporal view. Ah, forget it. Just me deal with this shit. Fuck it, I'm delegating. That's essentially what I just did. God damn. They're everywhere. Why are there so much fucking worms, man? Get snakes on a plane. Worms in a freaking cave. Really, really hope that whatever's down here is worth me killing and like, oh god damn, almost dying. Carving my way through just so many fucking worms, man. It's not funny. Okay, I need to set my wounds. Or bandage. Electric bark. Good enough. Please be shot to death. Do not mind. As if they're gonna consent, especially after I kill them, like I said before. It's like, would you kindly die? It's like, who the hell would say, yeah, sure, why not? Sounds good to me. Let's hide in the other room while my clone does all the heavy lifting. He doesn't have a. I mean, he still has freezing hands, but I shouldn't be too worried. It's not like he's gonna kill me with it. Say anything. Just start wading through. Please stop duplicating. I love how you can see them duplicating. There's only one of them, and then there were two of them, and there were three of them, and I'm just like, please stop. Are you shitting me? Nice. More bullets, something to take. Where the hell? Oh, there, my clone. I was like, where the fuck did my clone spawn? The snapshots slightly more. More worm meat, because why not? Don't mind me, I just casually slaughter my way through another room. There's the problem. Oh, what can I get rid of this time? Oh, I'm gonna. Of course, I'm carrying around like steel plate mail. That solves my problem immediately. Go away, gun. I already have the only gun I need. The Colossal Helm of Torok. 10 cold resistance and 2 strength. Not worth my time. Early period eaters modded their genes to grow fur filament hair. Later, once that technology was lost, grave robbers sheared it from their cadaverous scalps. Never heard that used. I've never heard cadaverous be used as a I believe it's an adjective descriptor. In the time of Thrixes, it was called finery. This hat was knit from the stuff. It's carved with tiny images of hammers. I mean, I have a head to wear it on, so I'll wear it. But like, also like, what the fuck? I'm wearing somebody's scalp. It's just fucking gross, my man. Is that seriously the? Did I seriously come here for that? Is that seriously? Wow. Just for a hound that gives 2 strength. Also, I feel the need to point this out. But if I got enough polymorphic gel, I could clone this fairly powerful sword. But strength bonus of 5 is not bad. I mean, for the current stage of the game, it's like on par with like Carbide. It's not bad. But like I could clone, say like 10 of these, give or take, and have one in each hand and have level 10 Temporal Fugue, which would be kind of silly. Another hand, by the way, I didn't even realize that. I don't have anything to put it in. Or put in it, I should say. But yeah. Sorry, I'm just adjusting my chair. But like, I could totally. I could also equip like potentially one more of these. If I cloned it, it wouldn't be the worst thing ever, but it still wouldn't be very good. I could of course also. Oh, there it is. It's just blended into the background so I can see it. I could also take the Radiant Dirk of Nesapar Spring, clone that, and just rely on the small chance to transmute an enemy into a gem on hit, which is an instant death effect. Which would also be kind of crazy, but kind of the prospects of this run in terms of relics, which is kind of not much. But I mean, there's also just. I mean, there's still. Let me. Yeah, there's still the Deathlands Ruin, which is probably going to have like Chrome Pyramids as a standard fair enemy. There's this one in the Banana Grove. There's this one here in the jungle. There's, of course, probably going to be one in the Palladium Reef. There might be one in the Rainbow Wood. Not entirely sure. But yeah, so there's still a few more relics or historical sites for me to plunder, which will hopefully have more than what I've found so far. So, the sword is very good. Temporal Fugue is very, very nice. I wish it was on an X. Just then I wouldn't be. Then I wouldn't feel bad at all about just like. I mean, I don't need that many. I don't need that many clones of myself. One clone is situationally amazing. 7 clones is just asking for me to be shot several times in all directions. But yeah, there's still legendary merchants that I also need to learn about. So next time I play this run, I'll be visiting Gokyukia. Saving quit. Also, how in the world am I gonna know which character is which? Oh, I'll just look at whichever one's the most recent. Yeah, because I named all the characters after myself. Yeah. 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 Stream's been running for about 4 hours, so I feel safe enough closing. Ending up there. I'll hopefully stream again tomorrow. We'll see. I'm in pain again. I might continue to play more cut. I'll probably wait to go back to the last spell for when I'm actually not in pain anymore. So I don't have to worry about like, well, what if like an hour of the stream is just me bitching and moaning about pain? Obviously, I don't want to. I don't want to make that a VOD. I just have that up forever of just me bitching and moaning. Yeah. Sorry, I'm still out of it. I didn't sleep much last night, and it's about time for me to go to sleep now. It's probably past the point where I should be sleeping, which I suppose, get to. Alright, see you guys around.